that even though I am black, our challenges are more similar than not, that we both want great things for our kids. She says, I've been really meaning to ask you something. What the hell's wrong with you? What the hell are you doing, white women? Why would you vote for that misogynistic piece of crap called Donald Trump? I'm so much better than you, and I'm black, and I know more than you. So it's got to be your fault, you white suburban women. We just passed in the night, and we're divorced, and we've got all these things in common, but you're an idiot.
Dating today with all the crazies out there has to be nuts.
Yes, it really would. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a place you could go to find people who think like you do?
Like me, like libertarians and conservatives?
Right?
There is. WeThePeople.dating.
Amazing. What a genius idea. This is a site that you can go to if you're single and you are looking for somebody who you know you're going to think the same way, as for, from a political freedom standpoint. If you want to date the right person for you, you'll find them in one place. WeThePeople.dating.
Adjust your mojo now. Thank you.
Ship has landed.
Doc Thompson, Brad Staggs, the mighty MoJo 50.
You don't hit me with a joke like that right before we go on because I can't repeat it. Although I'm pretty sure if you just linger long enough in the MeWe chat room, somebody will post it.
Yes,
having nothing to do, not knowing that we discussed it off air, it'll just show up in the MeWe chat room because
yes, it will.
All things vulgar end up in the MeWe chat room.
Wow. I don't know how these people live with themselves.
It was the Paul Lynde joke. Samantha, I'm Uncle Arthur. Peter Marshall. If you are of the younger generations and not familiar with the Paul Lynde.
Oh, wow.
Paul Lynde was hilarious.
And
I think he may have been homotype sexual.
Well, what did they call it back then? He was flamboyant. He was like Liberace.
Okay, yeah.
He was flamboyant.
Peter, I'm in the center square. Paul Lynde was hilarious with that. Did he do stand-up? He must have.
I'll bet he did. I mean, he was...
Because that would be hilarious. Like Buddy Hackett did the stand-up back in the day, and everyone knew him for the little Love Bug movie. Oh, he's so nice. Look at how cute he is, and he does this clean humor. And then old ladies would go to see him in Vegas or someplace perform, and he would bust it all. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he'd say that. He was blue. He had his blue period, and that was everything off of network TV.
Yeah, it was like Red Fox.
Also very dirty. Did the dirty humor. Yeah. All right, we got to begin today with Michael Avenatti. I was going to get to this anyways this morning, but my friend Bradley J. Stagg sent me a piece of audio, and I said, oh, we've got to begin with this little gem today. Michael Avenatti was in police custody as of yesterday afternoon still. He's been released? Because this was as he was released, the audio I had.
This was his little press conference as he was.
When I say released, I mean from police custody.
Yes.
He was in police custody following a claim of domestic violence. We don't know many of the details.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely. Police responded to a domestic violence incident Tuesday. They took a report. Avenatti was not taken into custody until Wednesday morning sometime. He was in police custody a good portion of the day yesterday. The police department said the investigation is still going on. We do not have any additional details. They said they would eventually be released. He was still in custody yesterday afternoon. As he left, though, he gave a little presser. I don't know if you know this, but Michael Avenatti is not shy of the cameras and microphones.
You'd think he would be, but he's not.
He is not.
No.
There were calls and text messages that were not returned, though, after he gave this. A spokesman for his political action committee that he just launched refused to make any comments. Now, Michael Avenatti is, as Brad said, innocent until proven guilty. And when it comes to domestic violence situations, I don't know if you know this or not, but often what we hear, what the police are told, is not accurate. The he said, she said is usually they're both damn wrong, right?
Yeah.
A lot of, well, she hit me and he hit me. Yeah, they're both being a-holes. I mean, that's usually what happens. Of course, violence, domestic violence, absolutely wrong. And I feel bad for anybody who's in the situation, genuinely. But Michael Avenatti may be truly innocent of all this. For those reasons, I feel bad. But I feel good and want to mock him because he's such an a-hole.
This was a little gift.
It really was. And not because, just because he's an a-hole, but because he's an a-hole about stuff like this.
Yes.
He has been on a witch hunt against President Trump, and not just because he's got Stormy Daniels as a client. It has nothing to do with it. He is the leading the charge, or a charge, that President Trump is, treats women wrong and all of this stuff, and then you get busted for domestic violence.
The irony is just
wonderful,
oozing.
He is, before we get to the audio, going through a sensitive, contested, touchy divorce from his now second wife.
Well, one is never enough.
Never enough. She has been looking for a monthly, check for family support for her and the kids. Just enough to scrape by.
Yeah.
I mean, a month. She's been looking for $21,000 a month.
Good grief, how's she going to eat? On that money, how do you eat on $21,000 a month and pay rent?
I know, right? Is that a lot? Can you get by on $21,000 a month now?
I might be able to scrape by. Maybe.
Phil, do you get by on $21,000 a month?
Yeah, I get by on about 1/20th of that.
Oh, okay. Because here's the thing: as I said, 21,000, I missed a zero. It's actually $210,000 a month is what she's been looking for.
Okay, so she can barely scrape by. She can actually afford some food.
Wow.
That's
I might be with him slapping her around a little bit for that. Just asking for it at that point.
You're paying that much.
Wait a minute.
A little slapping around, she comes.
Just asking for it. Somebody ought to slap her for that. I'm not talking a closed hand punch or something, but if you ask for 200, you've got to understand we've got to survive, and we can't survive for less than 210,000.
Well,
no.
Remember, she slept with him.
It ought to be like the scene from Airplane. I mean, she ought to say it.
Just lines
up to just slap her once. The judge, I'll take care of this. Even her defense attorney, or her attorney, not defense, but hang on. $210,000 a month. Come on, are you out of your? Can you imagine arguing that? It's not that you shouldn't get it. And if somebody has millions, it's all in perspective. But can you imagine arguing that you cannot live with less? You could not possibly get by, three of you, for less than $210,000 a month.
That's only $2.5 million a year. I don't know why you're so wound up about that. I mean,
can you imagine? You're like, it says here, Mrs. Avenatti, you're looking for $210,000 a year to live a year.
Yes.
Is it $210,000 a year? Is it a year?
Yeah, no. Per month.
Per month.
I'm very hungry. I have kids to feed.
Wait a minute. That seems like a lot of money per month.
No. If you live with Michael Avenatti for these years, you'd want that money too.
My other question about this is, why does your voice sound like Kermit the Frog?
Frog in my throat. I don't know.
Is that what it is? Okay,
early.
good. All right.
Best I could do.
$210,000 a month. Now, in October, an LA judge ordered him to pay almost $5 million to a former law colleague who claimed that he was owed millions of dollars in profit. And at that time, I ran down the list of all the people that Michael Avenatti, or excuse me, some of the people Michael Avenatti owes money to, including you and me, because multiple businesses of his, and personally, he owes millions to the government in taxes, which is me and you. He owes me and you. While you're paying your taxes to pay for roads, and the government overspends beyond that, Michael Avenatti has multiple businesses that each owe the government millions in taxes, and he himself personally owes millions, to the tune of $10-15 million, somewhere in that range.
That is shocking. I mean, given that he's such a fine, upstanding pillar of the community, that comes as a total shock to me.
So that's where we're at right now. Now, he was released yesterday, immediately went out to the cameras, and had some comments. Because, again, he's innocent until proven guilty, right? Again, these are the comments on why he was arrested for domestic violence. Michael Avenatti. Here we go.
First of all, I want to thank the hardworking men and women of the LAPD.
Only a sleazy porn lawyer who wants to be president would actually thank the cops for arresting him.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're truly guilty, and even if you know that, and even if you know it's right, he doesn't really believe the cops were doing their job because it's too personal to you. Yeah. And do you really think you know what, my wife, and you've had some trying times, she's just going, the cops. He's really that sensitive to everybody. No, behind the scenes, you're MFing the cops is what you're doing.
Big time.
I'm not saying you're right. The cops were just doing their job. Cops, don't misunderstand. I'm bagging you. I'm just saying when it's me, then how dare you, cop?
Yes.
See, that's the world we live in.
Yep.
Brad, if I'm driving down the road and I see you speeding and driving reckless and the cops pull you over, I may feel bad they pull you over if you're driving right something, but I'm like, sorry, Brad, it's the law.
Yep. You got caught.
I feel bad, but you got caught. But when they pull me over, how dare they? I was just going with the flow of traffic. I'm late to where I'm going. I wasn't causing any trouble. I wasn't in an accident.
I'm a good
They should have gone after the guy who was going faster than me.
Did you not see that guy? He passed me doing 100.
It doesn't matter what the scenario is. Very few of us are reasonable when it's us.
That's true.
We can't admit when we're wrong or whatever.
That's true.
So for him to come out and go, let me just, first of all, thank those people who arrested me. And also, let me also thank my soon-to-be ex for holding me accountable. Right.
Yeah. You know, she completes me. And I'm sorry things didn't work out with her, but you know, she's a smart woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me thank those people. I also want to go ahead and offer a pre-thank you to the eventual judge who will try this case, the prosecutors. Thank you so much. You know, you're just doing your jobs.
That's right.
I don't even know who you will be yet or the circumstances, but no matter what happens.
Thank you in advance.
Because you'll just be doing your job. Thank you so much. And society as a whole, and I think we all recognize society is at this point a whole. That's right. Yeah. So first thing he says, thank the cops. Oh, he's not running. He's not a politician.
I'll give him credit, though. Yeah. He's following his own list of what he would tell a client to do.
That is true. That's good. Here we go.
First of all, I want to thank the hardworking men and women of the LAPD for their professionalism and their work today.
There were no kidney punches as they put me in the cruiser. Thank you.
Especially Sergeant Stevenson, who did a fine job of putting me into the back of the car without hitting my head. And
I also want to say to Officer Klein, the body cavity search was particularly gentle. Thank you for your soft touch on this and future matters.
And trimming your fingernails.
And when I say matters, also thank you to the men and women in blue who, when they put me in the cell, did not put me in there alone with just one guy and a bag of oranges. Thank you for not beating me in the cell.
I can't wait.
Because I know
the video comes out.
Because remember, Avenatti is the guy who would sue the cops on behalf of a client like Rodney King, right?
Oh, big time. Absolutely, he would. He would sue his own grandmother.
I have no idea of his other cases, but I guarantee you there's one on there where he's bad-mouthing the cops somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's saying however, but in this case, thank you so much for your professionalism.
LAPD for their professionalism and their work today.
They did not reference that I am a sleazy porn lawyer even once. They didn't ask me to get an autographed copy of Stormy Daniels' latest book and pictures. They didn't ask me any of those things.
I just handed them to them.
Had no option in light of the allegations. Secondly, I have never struck a woman. I never will strike a woman. I have been an advocate for women's rights.
I have never struck a woman, and never will I. I will, however, push them down, hit them with a belt. I will occasionally put their hand over a hot stove.
Yes. But I will not strike them.
That's right. That is crossing the line. I believe that, of course, a little violence is needed. You know, you've got to teach them somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, is it really striking a woman to hit them with a newspaper on the end of the nose?
I don't believe so.
Is that considered striking a woman?
That's tapping.
That's educational purposes. It's training.
Maybe I shouldn't have said tapping.
Oh, no, I would tap that.
Okay, just making sure.
Secondly, I have never struck a woman.
I will, of course, verbally assault them. I will sexually assault them.
But I will not strike
I will not strike a woman.
No.
Years and years of emotional abuse. Absolutely, I'm your guy. But striking a woman,
nope.
No, that is where I draw the line.
Yep.
I never will strike a woman. I have been an advocate for women's rights my entire career, and I'm going to continue to be an advocate. I am not going to be intimidated from stopping what I am doing.
Yeah. He sounds like a really.
I'm waiting to see where you're going with this.
He sounds really.
He
really does
I'm
sound.
going to give you that. You're right. He
really does.
Thank you.
I am a father to 2 beautiful, smart daughters.
Who occasionally are little bitches who just act like their mom. But I'm trying to purge them of that. Come on.
So many lines that I'm.
No, I'm serious. He's really.
Yes.
I'm not calling his daughters that. I'm just saying, this is how this is how he always acts.
Yes.
This is out of the playbook of you're in trouble, right?
I cannot believe
I am a father.
anybody would accuse me of.
Look at this.
I turned down sainthood just to remain here on earth.
That's right. I've got children. I do have children. Therefore, I would never do anything bad. Nobody with children ever committed any crime.
Oh, no, Susan.
And by the way, I have not just children, but daughters. They are female. Therefore, I couldn't possibly hurt a female.
Nope.
Please, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Remember that?
By the way, his daughter turned out to be kind of hot.
How old are his kids?
I don't know his kids. I was talking about Ireland.
Oh, Ireland. I think his.
No, his. Okay. I don't know how old they are.
Yeah, this is right. You just go down the list of all the wonderful.
Yes.
I often give to charity. I say kind things about my mom. I never tear them tags off of mattresses. Never done such a thing.
Wouldn't dream of it.
I always put the cap back on the ketchup bottle when I put it in the refrigerator.
Most importantly, I leave the toilet seat down.
Never would I leave it up because that would be anti-woman.
Yes.
That would be to assume that it is their job. I would never do such a thing.
Father to 2 beautiful, smart daughters.
Yeah, okay.
I would never disrespect them by touching a woman inappropriately or striking a woman. I am looking forward to a full investigation, at which point I am confident that I will be fully exonerated.
He's looking forward to that. Imagine that, Michael Avenatti looking forward to a full investigation and hearing trial where he can get a lot of attention and
absolutely.
cameras.
And Brad, you're right about that comment that he makes, because there are actually 3 additional sentences that happened or occurred after he got cut off there. It says, I also want to thank everyone for their support that has reached out. You know my character. You know me as a man, and I appreciate it. Why do you think he had to say that?
I don't know. I thought that was really weird.
You know me as
Is
a
he
man.
secretly a woman? Did he transition?
I heard that earlier this morning. I thought.
I mean, he's all bearded up and bald, but he has soft
know
features.
Me as a man.
He has soft features.
But ta-da! My name's really Michelle Avenatti, and now you know why I advocate for women. Check these out.
Seriously, was he a hermaphrodite or something?
I don't think you can call him that.
Oh,
anymore.
something's going.
It's he, she.
Sorry, I want to be politically correct.
Please do.
You know what he didn't say here, while even talking about how much he respects women and that he would have never done something like this. He would not strike. Obviously, striking a woman is part of the claim,
right?
Because he keeps going.
Yes.
I would never strike a woman. I would never strike a woman. Never hit a woman. He mentions his daughters. Obviously, that he would never do such a thing because he has 2 beautiful daughters. He would never strike a woman. You know what he never says here?
What?
Their mother, my wife, my soon-to-be ex. He never refers to her in any way other than in a generic, I would never strike a woman.
Yeah, I think it was initially reported that it was his ex-wife.
But I think she came out and said that she wasn't involved in this.
That's right. And
He's got an ex-wife and he's got a soon-to-be ex, right? This is his second wife.
Wow, they get so confusing.
Wow.
That's what I'm assuming here.
See?
But wouldn't you? Isn't it an easy leap to say I would never hit their mother?
Yeah, you would think that he would personalize it like that, but which infers that he at some point in the past did.
Well, no, I mean, if you're saying I would never do such a thing, so you know. So here's the thing: I don't know where he ends up going from here, because see, his law practice isn't doing great. On top of it not doing great, he owes millions and millions of dollars. He seems like a huckster now. His political career was over before it started. He is going to need a new gig. So my question is, what will his porn name be?
Let's see.
I mean, you got to have kind of Avenatti as part of it, don't you? I mean, he's eventually, there's no question, eventually he does porn. He's around those sleazy type of clients. They're not going to put him on Dancing with the Stars. No. He's too sleazy for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there some other reality? I think you go to the porn gig at some point.
Well, he has an in with, thank you, with Stormy.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Do the two of them do it? I mean, there's no question at some point in the next 10 years, unless he hits the lottery, Michael Avenatti's going to do porn. That's just, how it's going to shape out. So hashtag Avenatti porn name. Can you help us out with that?
By the way, don't Google that. Wow.
Hashtag Avenatti porn name. If you have any suggestions, I'm just trying to help the cat out, because I know he would never ever strike a woman, and therefore he is going to be targeted over and over again, and we're going to need to help the guy out.
Let's see. His there is online there is a porn star name generator, and if you enter Michael Avenatti, thank you, it comes up Chuck Rug Muncher, which is total non sequitur, but it works.
Not sure what that means.
I don't either.
I'm feigning that I don't know what it means. One of the two.
No, and
well, I want to help the guy out. We offer people, free commercials to help promote them and their businesses, because I don't want to have to pay for this guy. Right. I don't want to have this guy going on welfare. So any way you can help him out, hashtag Avenatti porn name, and maybe just let's give him a free commercial here.
Guy you wanted to ask you to prom, but he went with Betty Jo instead. Now you can make him pay for the backseat romp he didn't have with you or Betty Jo. High school or college hottie never looked at you or even knew your name? He'll never forget you now. Have you slipped and fallen or accidentally been gang raped in a place you've never been, or sexually assaulted sometime in either your teens, 20s, or never? If you've said yes to any of these probing accusations, you may be entitled to free publicity and a GoFundMe account worth bank. You see, at Avenatti and Avenatti, we put the naughty where it should be, squirting right in the public eye. We troll for troubled women and cite cases just like you to exploit them for every ounce of media attention we can manage. That's right. You can be the attention-seeking whore you've always wanted to be. Would you like to push a political agenda the media will love? Call us. Lusted for that hottie who didn't even know your name? Well, he damn skippy will now. And so will everybody you may or may not have gone to school with. Call us. Even if you've never suffered from high crimes and sex demeanors, our team of publicity professionals will help trigger your memory, even if you have none. And you'll be able to pass a polygraph with flying colors and with your pants around your ankles. Call us at
1-900-SLEAZY-PORN-LAWYERS.
That's
1-900-SLEAZY-PORN-LAWYERs.
Or online at doyoukissyyourmamawithatmouth.porn.
I'm just trying to help the guy out.
You're a giver. That's why.
That's exactly right.
You are a giver.
Which is also part of my porn name, but that's a whole different discussion. Hashtag Avenatti porn name. Get him into us. Also, if you would take a moment today and visit elementmattress.com. Whether you're a porn star that needs a new business office.
And you could write it off.
You can. You can write it off and you can write it off. You can do both.
Both.
Element mattress is not only the best night's sleep you'll get, but if you get the copper element mattress, those little copper fibers, I cannot stress enough how wonderful it is having that peace of mind that it's antifungal, antimicrobial, especially if you have a lot of people sleeping on your mattresses. And by sleeping, I mean visiting your mattresses.
Exactly, yeah. And you're not going to have those little dust mites crawling all over you.
Oh, those are the worst. You don't want those things.
No.
So pick up a copper element mattress today, or 2 or 3 at elementmattress.com. They have been doing sensational since they started advertising this broadcast. And thank you so much for supporting them. ElementMattress.com. I have an Element mattress. I've had one for probably a year and a half-ish, and love it. They are fantastic. Great people. They're made in America. I think they're headquartered in Michigan.
Grand Rapids.
Yeah, you people in Ohio, don't let that throw you off. They're still good people. ElementMattress.com, and they're going to give you a lifetime warranty, and they'll even give you 100 nights to try it for free. So since you're buying online, you'll make sure you get something that actually works for you. And when you order it, they ship it to your house. You take it in the bedroom. You open up the box.
Do not open it until you get it in the bedroom.
Follow the directions.
Yes.
Trust me. Follow the directions.
And have your camera phone out, because
you may not, and you'll screw it up.
No, but it's just fascinating. And you'll want to show your friends.
Want to watch. Yeah, that's true.
You'll be telling everybody, when I took it out of the box, it did this. And if you have a video of it, it's even more fun. Thank you.
Yeah, it's ElementMattress.com. If you follow the directions when you get it, it'll be great. If you don't, it's going to be a little tricky for you, like it was for me. Get your tweets and comments in all across social media. Don't forget, we're looking for hashtag Avenatti porn name.
A mojo for every state. MoJo 50.
Mike.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Just a week before Thanksgiving and the Christmas and holiday season just around the corner, I thought I'd talk about some gift-giving ideas. Some gifts you might give to people that will either make them laugh or totally tick them off. I'm talking about some of the newest releases. For example, Trumpy Bear. It's an incredibly funny commercial if you've seen it, and a lot of people said, wait, is that SNL? They're asking that because the commercial is so cheesy and the bear has that chunk of yellow hair across the top, the comb over. It's hilarious, people. Just calm down. If you're a Trump fan, you should like it, and it also has an American flag inside. And if you're a Trump hater, you should like it. It's a win-win. And then there is the Trump Build That Wall Lego set. There are people just furious about this. Why? It teaches kids construction. In addition to Trumpy Bear and Build the Wall kit, my favorite, my very absolute favorite, is Monopoly for Millennials, a spoof on the classic Monopoly game that teaches capitalism. On the cover of the board game box, you'll find the monocled Mr. Monopoly, but he's taking a selfie and holding a latte. Inside, there won't be much real estate purchasing going on because, hey, who can afford real estate? And of course, the people who are offended by this the most, the millennials. So if you want to piss off a millennial, and who doesn't, let them snuggle with a Trumpy Bear while they dream about social justice and don't buy real estate. Testudo, my friend. Testudo.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com. All right, they're starting to come in. We got a whole lot of them there. I would say, go ahead and let it all out there. Don't hold back. But if you do have some that are able to be shared on the air, that help us out quite a bit there. That'd be great. That'd be great.
We can sit here and laugh at them, but we just can't.
Remember, there are many levels here. The first level is, wow, that is hilarious and airable. And we'll put it on the air, and we'll usually retweet some of them as well. And then there's the old, wow, that's hilarious, but probably can't say on the air or retweet, so I'll just like it. And then there are those that are, oh my gosh, that's hilarious, but I really can't retweet or like it. But just know, inside, we're loving it.
Yes.
And I do like that some people are also including with this, and it's again, hashtag Avenatti porn name, some movie titles as well.
Yes. Beagle Fury. I think this might be the movie title. Prisoner, I'll take it. Just don't hurt me. You've been drinking again, haven't you, Beagle? Okay.
Yeah, no, there's I'm trying to find the one right here that's hang on. Donald Hump by Little Liberty Hoosier.
See, I see what you did there.
Right. That could also be a porn film name.
Yes,
you
it
could
could
work that in. And Cincy Brownhood said Carlos Danger Part 2. You're right. You could work that into a name as well as the character. Now, DMXDM, who's very clever here, put Avenatti by nature. because he's down with OPP. Hey, you know me.
Sputtering duck, slip and fall on it, Avenatti.
Yeah.
That could be both
Liberty,
a gangsta name and a porn name.
Yeah, and Liberty Hoosier J has one that I think, obviously, you have to work Stormy Daniels into any name.
Oh, yeah.
And then certainly a film. And he put Stormy Dangles.
Yeah. And they do.
Yeah, that's true. She may have already monopolized that. The Morning Blay, hey, damn it, said Doc Thompson.
You see that? It's his porn name would be your
My
name.
actual name.
I see what he did there.
Bearded Larky Farkin. So he grew a beard? Is that what's going on here?
I believe so, yes. I think.
The Big Hurt. Peter, it'll be fantastic. Hashtag Avenatti porn name.
Okay. Kathy and the Bird. Douche canoe.
Yeah.
I don't even know. There's just something that doesn't mean anything.
No.
But it's funny.
It is. And by the way,
two words together.
I think if you had to identify Michael Avenatti in one word. So if I said, sum up Phil Roberts, our guy who spins.
Ron Phillips. Sum him up in one word. Or your mom or anybody. You just pick somebody. You're like, Ron. Yeah.
You'd say trustworthy. Dedicated.
Yes.
Efficient. Right?
Yes.
You may throw some of those things out there, right?
Yes.
Matlock. The guy who fills in or who doesn't show after hours. You may say punctual.
Dependable.
Let's just go with punctual.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. I don't want to get too off the track with him. Depends on what you're depending on him for, and that gets great. But anyways, but Avenatti, if you said one word that sums him up, douche.
Douche
He
works.
is so douchey. Am I right?
Yes. No, that works.
He is absolutely. I can't even say scumbag. That's almost too. He doesn't even know he's scummy.
No, he
like
doesn't.
Scumbag or the whole porn shady. He's shady, but shady is almost like you're manipulating, doing shady deals.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No, he lives this.
Yeah.
He is just douchey. So you'll get some shady ass characters like lawyers or whatever that may also be douchey.
Yes.
But they're like doing these back deals. I'm going to lie about this. And I'm sure that Avenatti's doing some of that. But he leads with, he is just inherently, as part of his DNA, douchey.
Yes, he is. He is a douche canoe.
That may be some form of douche is probably the best way to describe him. Where you're sitting there, if you and I were sitting enjoying a glass of wine and just watching all of this unfold.
I hate wine.
Drinking a hot toddy.
Are we
drinking a highball? What do you want to drink here? What can I get you, Mr. Staggs?
How about a beer?
You and I are drinking a beer.
Thank you.
And we're just watching all of this unfold. Like we're just outside watching this unfold. We would just be like, look at this douche. That's what we would say.
Yes.
Ass doesn't apply.
Nope.
Jerk, whatever.
Nope. He's just douchey.
I don't know if anybody could beat him out. Damn it. For douchey applying more to them. There may be some challengers that it would be equally applied to them. Can you think of anybody that is more, that douchey is more applicable for? More applicable.
No, actually, I can't.
I mean, obviously, you're putting you on the spot here, but think about that a moment.
Bill Clinton, back in his day,
he's a little more sleazy.
Yeah, I was kind of
slimy.
Douchey. Yeah,
he was sleazy, slimy, shady.
But still, Clinton was one of those guys who kind of, look at him.
Right, exactly.
You didn't think douchey. It's
if you and I, again, we're sitting out there having a beer, you see Bill Clinton's life and exploits, we'd go, hey, that sleazy guy. Look at that shady. Look at that, whatever.
Look what he's getting away with.
Yeah. You may throw douchey out there, and it may apply as well.
No, not as much as.
But Avenatti, he's just douchey.
One of the dicks.
The shiny
dick.
one, Blumenthal.
Yes.
Why is he so shiny?
I don't know.
So
he's
pretty damn douchey
he
too.
He's douchey.
He's a little more shady and slimy.
Yeah, I think he's kind of douchey, shady, and slimy all wrapped up in one. He's
just slimy.
Just slimy.
That may be applicable. We got our caller. Like we got Dennis. Dennis Hogan joining us now. Dennis, how are you, sir?
Good morning. How are you all today?
Doing well, sir. Dennis is from, is it Vivis Design Group?
Vivid. Vivid Design Group.
Oh, Vivid. It's really weird.
Vivis. Yes. Come on.
I thought it was, but I don't know why. Maybe I just hit the wrong button. Oh, the D is next to the S.
Uh-huh. Yes, it is.
All right.
Yes,
anyway, Vivid Design Group. Dennis, where are you located?
I'm located in Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
No, I know it well. I used to drive by there all the time on the way out of Nashville.
I noticed you never stopped and gave him a couple of bucks.
Well, of course not. The cops are usually after me.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
as a matter of fact, I was very close to the distillery that you were at 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Around Derby time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for stopping in and saying hey.
Well, I didn't know it until I was already out of town.
Oh, okay. Very good. So I want to have Dennis on as part of a Building America segment here to tell you a little bit about his business and to promote that we're going to be going full bore Black Friday Building America Marathon a week from tomorrow, because the week from today is Thanksgiving. Yes, it is. Dennis is the CEO, owner of Vivid Design Group, and I'm assuming you do graphic art designs and logos?
Yes. My specialty has been, my passion has been logo design for the last 25 years. But, of course, there's lots of other things that goes along with that. People want brochures afterwards. They need to have websites. So we do the full spectrum of design work.
And I've seen some of your logos. They're great. Logos are tricky to design. I've attempted to make some for different things I've done. And, I mean, for the average guy,
it's tough to convey a thought and kind of encapsulate a business in just a thing, just a shape and words.
And unique.
You don't know what you're doing.
And yet simple too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that really is the key, because what happens is so many people, especially people that are trying to do it themselves, they want to have that logo try to tell everything about their business. They want to put too much information, too many things in the logo, and it only clouds it up. But simplicity really is one of the most important keys to a great logo, because in the end, you have to use that logo for everything, whether it's trying to screen print it on the side of a pencil or embroider it on a shirt. I've seen some beautiful pieces of artwork that people call the logo, but in the end, they would never be able to embroider it on a shirt because it would never be effective. And one of the great problems that most businesses have with their logos is that they're used very inconsistently. You know, they'll show it on the building sign one way, and they'll show it on their letterhead another way, and the website a different way. And every time somebody sees that logo, it really needs to be seen exactly the same way every single time, or people might think that it's different companies.
Because you're creating a brand, and if you keep changing your
Correct.
logo too, you never establish a brand.
Right.
Like, let's say every couple of years you just keep changing the font and adding stuff and the color scheme and everything.
Absolutely, and all those things make a difference. That's why, you know, you see these the big brands, the big corporate brands that we know of. Nike hasn't changed anything in 30 years.
And if they do change, it is subtle changes to keep up with the times, usually little alterations, like McDonald's. Back in the day, they had the arch with the red banner at the bottom that said McDonald's. And then at times they would not put the McDonald's word, but it was still the red bar or just the arches. And they kind of toyed in that arena. But it wasn't like, hey, whole new logo and let's make it purple.
Right.
And that's exactly right. They'll make those small changes, but even when they make those small changes, they will use that small change very consistently throughout all their marketing platforms.
Yeah, and this is really important too as you're trying to brand this stuff, because you're right. People, if they're going to design their own, or even if they're having you design it and they start telling you what they want, you're right. They try to put all this stuff into it, forgetting, of course, that the iconic logos and brands that you know them because you have learned about them over the years. We now use Google as a verb. You say that, 50 years ago, no one knows what that is, and certainly not as a verb. In other words, they didn't throw it all in the logo and expect everybody to understand everything about their company overnight. It was very subtle and educating them.
That's exactly right. And one of my classic examples that I have in my portfolio is one called Gator Rock Bit. They originally they designed a drill bit to go in the back of a truck, so that for utility poles. So if they hit rock, you put this rock bit on. Well, they came to me and says, we want this full alligator, and we want a rock in the alligator's mouth. We want that alligator chomping down on it. I mean, they'd almost need a movie to be able to capture all this.
And then Charlton Heston comes in.
Yeah, exactly. And so ultimately, I was able to simplify that, still was able to capture the essence of what they wanted, but was able to do a very simplistic yet very bold logo that served them very well, and we ended up winning an award for it as well.
Oh, wow.
What's your website real quick so people can check some of this out?
It's vividdesigngroup.com, vividdesigngroup.com.
vividdesigngroup.com, and there you are. I just pulled up the website.
Is it one D or two there between Vivid and Design?
It's one D. Vivid and Design, kind of a compound word that shares a D.
Vivid Design. Okay, gotcha. So it's VIVID and then yes. Okay, because that's I pulled up a different site that was different. With if you put two D's in there, it's different.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
What is it? Give me an example of like maybe one of your favorite logos from all time that you think is probably one of the best.
Well, I think one of my favorites of all time is the Jaeger Fly logo, because we were able to, again, capture, it's what I call a product mark, because it is representing of one of the products that they sell, and it's supposed to be a dry fly, if you know anything about fly fishing. But we were able to do it very futuristically, very simply, and being able to duplicate basically the same shape 4 different times and configure them in such a way that it created a fly. So it didn't take a lot of detail, and I didn't have to show all the hair, and I didn't have to show all that extra stuff. But you know exactly, if you're in fly fishing, you know exactly what that is.
It looks awesome. I just saw it. I see they, if you go to the Vivid Design Group, again, Vivid Design Group, but there's only one D with Vivid and Design.com. You'll see them just cycle through a bunch of them right at the top of the page, and you can look. I've always loved good logos.
Mm-hmm.
Always loved them. So I could just sit and watch the logos. Lots of good stuff. And by the way, Dennis has donated a design package as part of our Black Friday giveaway, right?
That is correct. I will design one logo for somebody. You do so much trying to help small businesses out. I figured that you have a lot of small businesses that listens to you, so I wanted to help out your Building America segment on Black Friday, and I'm going to do one free. As a matter of fact, if you look on the website, there is I've done this kind of things before. If you look at the SimPack logo, I did that for a radio giveaway program one other time, and that's the logo that we came up with. So it's not like I'm just going to cheap out on you.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it, my best work for this. If for some reason you don't own a business, then I will do some other kind of graphic design work, maybe some flyer or, whatever they need. But, the promotion really is for logo design.
Awesome. Cool. I see Blue Lobster Gallery. That's pretty. And by the way, that's Blue Lobster. If you want to check it out, it's not Blue Waffle Gallery. That's a completely different gallery.
Totally
and
different.
Do not look it up.
Yes, don't.
Yeah, there's some awesome stuff here, Dennis. Nice job, and thank you so much for giving that away as part of it. If you want to win, all you have to do is register. Register now at MoJo50.com. There's a place, the website, and all you're basically doing is just registering, and then we'll draw later in the program on Black Friday. Of course, Black Friday, 12-hour marathon of just giving away free commercials, and all you have to do is call up on that day to promote your business. If you want to tell us about you and register ahead of time, you can do that at the website. It'll be 6 a to 6 p all day Black Friday, and then we'll draw for this prize pack that includes a Minuteman watch and a Tar River Arms firearm and a bunch of other great products like MoJo Wild Rice and some supplements from the richsolution.com and now from Vivid Design Group, a logo design, which is really one of the most difficult things. It's funny, Dennis, when we designed our MoJo 50 logo, which I really love now, I had thrown a couple of ideas together.
I like the way you say that.
No, and I'll tell you why.
I really love it now.
No, I'll tell you exactly why. So I did a couple of logos just as a general idea of what what MoJo 50 and then what Spoonie would be. And for the average person, I go, okay, they were all right, you know. And the Spoonie one I didn't love that I designed, but I thought I was in the right direction. My MoJo one, I really kind of thought I was heading in the right direction. We had professionals do it, some friends that we know that used to be Disney Imagineers. So these are some people that understand branding. And the ones they sent us back, I liked. I didn't love any of them. And we all voted on that we like MoJo 50, the logo we have here. And I was like, yeah, I like that. I don't love it, but I like it. Within days, I loved it. So a lot of times when you see these things, maybe it wasn't exactly what you're thinking. So you're like, yeah, I like it, but I don't. I think that the true test is, how do you feel about it a week from now?
You have to trust the professional.
Right.
That's
and that is exactly right. When I send logos, saying, and I'll do this for the winner as well. I'm not just going to send you a piece of artwork and say, here's the logo I did for you. Congratulations. I'm going to do multiple samples, and I always encourage people to print them out and hang them on your wall, and throughout the day, look at them. Don't give me a decision right away. Look at them for several days and see how you like it over time. And then if people don't like the first three, then I'll come back and based upon input, I'll design 3 more, and I'll design until you love your logo.
That's awesome. So, I really like the subtlety of the Grayson RECC one on your website as well, with the plugs, the spiral. Really nice.
I appreciate that very much. Yeah. Yeah, but that was one of the first logos I did, in fact.
Nice. Very cool. So what advice do you give people about starting a business? Because you have a different type of business. Yours was more of being like self-employed, doing work for people, and then you grew it into, more of a business. What advice do you give people, Dennis?
You got to follow your passion. Stick with it. Do what you can when you can. I didn't just branch out one day and say, I'm going to, quit all my jobs and start designing logos. I did it on the side for a long time and did as much as I could. And when it was right, I broke away. So you just got to keep plugging away. It may take you a while to be successful, but if you believe in what the business that you're doing, the talents that you have, it always seems to work out.
Just don't quit.
Don't quit.
Honestly,
I hate that advice.
I know.
I really hate that advice. But that's the key. Don't quit.
That's the key. All right, I'm going to go ahead, Dennis, and tweet out a link, and then we'll also post it on MeWe and Facebook as well to vividdesignGroup.com. And remember, there's only one D. The Vivid and Design share a D.
Dennis is already very popular on the MeWe chat room.
Because of the D comment.
Yeah,
all right, Dennis, I apologize for that. You know how the jackholes are.
But they're very loyal.
Dennis Hogan, Vivid Design Group. Thanks, buddy. We wish you all the best, and we'll probably talk to you on Black Friday as well.
Thank you so much. Congratulations for your new platforms.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. VividDesignGroup.com. And I'm putting it out there right now.
Sharing the D. An example. It's always different with DDs.
I can't believe I didn't see that coming.
I was just trying to make sure I had his webs. I wasn't even thinking about it. They share the D. I rang multiple bells in my head. This guy, see, he's a member of the
If you give the jackholes just a little bit.
If you give them an inch.
Oh, see, you don't have to give him an
bell.
Inch. You have to give him an inch. You don't have to give him anything, and they're going to go off of this stuff.
You just show them the first inch. They'll take the whole mile.
Yeah, they suggest an inch. They're going to figure it out anyways. That's how they are.
Brad, were you and I lurking on their chat room last night?
I was
lurking.
Yeah, they said, what are you here for, adult supervision? I said, I'm here to watch. That's pretty much it. And boy, howdy.
I watched for a little while, and I thought about chiming in, and I went, this is too much fun.
They got game over there. And I don't know how they all got up this early in the morning.
Oh, after being up so late?
Yes.
So you were they questioned if you were going to comment or take part.
Yeah, if I was going to be the adult supervision. Yeah, obviously.
And you said you were just watching?
Yeah, I'm here to
I'm just here to watch.
I'm just here to watch. I'll
That's
sit over
all it
here
is.
in this chair.
I'll just be the creepy old dude right over here. Yes. Don't worry about it.
I'm good at it. I'm good at it. I've learned how to become the creepy old guy.
So real quick, here's how this is going to shape up on Black Friday, just so you can follow along afterwards as well. A couple of things, and I won't belabor this right now, but I do have to share this. Number one, if you want to take part in the Black Friday free commercials and you don't make it on the phone or anything like that, or if you heard somebody that you didn't write down the website, you forgot it, and you want to go back, all you have to do is on the main platforms of social media where we are, Facebook, Twitter, and MeWe.
Yes.
Here's how it's going to roll out. On Twitter, we will use the hashtag Building America Marathon.
Yes.
And you can look up past ones. We've always used hashtag Building America. We'll use those two. So you go back a week later. What was that web design? Building America Marathon hashtag. Oh, there it is. vividdesigngroup.com with 1D.
Yep. Yes.
And, right?
1D.
On Facebook, we will post, as we post the live broadcast on Facebook, underneath those, we will go ahead and post each one. We will from our accounts.
Yes.
So, I mean, the other, you can as well. Other companies can. You could post as well. And then MeWe, the same thing. We'll post it there.
Yes.
So if you don't get a chance to get in on the phone, go ahead and use that hashtag still and post your business with that hashtag.
Yes.
Or post it underneath the page. Hey, Doc, didn't make it through on the page. Here's my business. We sell sheepskins, right?
Yes. A huge market for sheepskins these days, too.
Right.
Yeah,
just post
huge.
it up there. And the same thing with MeWe. So that'll be the structure so you can even navigate it. And then one other thing. In order to really make this work, we have to have our videos, both on Periscope, Facebook, and on YouTube as well, shared as much as possible. They don't let you broadcast straight for 12 hours on those, so we'll have to post multiple ones. There'll be, what, 3 or 4 throughout the day, something like that on Facebook, for example.
Every 3 hours.
So on Black Friday, casually working around, whatever, just you stumble on, share our videos to your page and ask your friends and family to do the same. If you can do that a couple of times on Black Friday, take 2 minutes and listen, post this on your page, share this as well. If you do that, this thing will go huge.
Yep.
It will mushroom cloud up, and that's what we're looking for because it's going to help all these people and it'll help you as well. Now, you're not going to remember this because it's a week and a day away, and we got a holiday in there and whatever.
Wow, that's some confidence in them right there.
No, I wouldn't
You're not
remember,
remember this.
No, you're not going. Plus, they're all drunk right now.
Yeah, I know. Hang up.
So I wouldn't remember it. That's the reason we say follow us on those platforms.
Please.
Because then as you just log on, we'll end up in your feed that day. Or if you follow us on Twitter, you're going to see us tweeting about it, and it will be the subtle reminder. So please do that and ask your friends and family to do the same. Or if you put it on your calendar, if you feel that works for you, set an alarm, whatever you have to do.
Write it on a Post-it note, say, and put it on your refrigerator.
All right, Grandpa, that's fine. If that helps you out, so be it.
Post-it notes are great.
You know, in your advancing years, I am very concerned about you because you are not the picture of health.
I feel great.
Now, I'm going to take that back. Hold on. You are a picture of health.
I am a picture.
The before picture of health. Don't let this happen to you. Save your heart now. Go to saveyourheart.com or call 800-77-HEART. It's almost like a commercial, Brad.
If I had known I was going to live this long, I would have taken far better care of myself.
Right?
So it's my advice to you as a young'un, as a ute in America, to go to saveyourheart.com. It's preventive it's your car. I mean, think about how much you spend on preventive maintenance for your car. You
right.
change the oil.
Right. Think about all the preventive maintenance I have on my car.
Yeah.
My mom's Honda Fit that I drive around.
After the fact, you spend the money. But if you actually spend it on preventive maintenance, stuff lasts longer. That's why my first truck lasted 311,000 miles. Same thing with your body. 311,000 miles.
Mine lasted 312,000 miles.
Well, that was before I actually got in and drove it another 10.
Yeah, I ended up putting another couple hundred on mine. So
it was amazing. When I was all done, it was like 330.
So preventative maintenance works.
It does, and the same is with your body.
So if you go to saveyourheart.com, you can find out about that preventative maintenance.
Yes, you can.
To deal with heart disease or stave it off. But Brad, let's say they found themselves in a position like you who did not use preventative saveyourheart.com and are like, wow, now I got to deal with this stuff. How would they deal with it then?
It's never too late. Here's the thing. What did they say? The best time to plant an oak tree 20 years ago?
20 years ago.
The second best time?
21.
Right now.
Right now, today. That's the second best time.
Second best time. And that's
about like 15 years ago and then 14. There's been many subtle best times.
Actually, technically, because you can't do anything about those.
Sounds very philosophical is what it is. Am I taking this too literal?
Maybe perhaps just a smidge. But if you do go to Save Your Heart, this is the second best time to take some preventive.
I went to the site and I found all of this references to being appalling. And I was like, why would you mention that people are appalled by your...
It's the appalling therapy essentials formula. It's the, not appalling.
Now that sounds
the
good.
Appalling.
That sounds much better.
Or as
I was
we
like,
say
why
in
are
my
people
neighborhood,
so offended by it?
The appalling.
The appalling.
The appalling.
The appalling therapy's essential formula is going to help you stave off heart disease, to give you a better foundation moving forward. It provides comprehensive nutritional support to the human cardiovascular system for the repair of arteries and the natural reversal of sclerosis.
But we all eat so well these days, we don't need stuff like this.
Listen, they're on to something here at Save Your Heart. We've talked about this before, about the sugars, how it hurts you, and some of the things like that. This is going to be, I believe, one of the sciences, the health sciences of the future.
Yeah.
Is probiotics and sugars, how those two things affect your body. So gut health, sugar, and both of those things affect your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the key. Heart disease is one of the leading killers in America today.
Even tooth plaque affects your heart.
In a huge way.
It's crazy how much stuff affects your heart.
Just go to saveyourheart.com, get all the details on how you can saveyourheart.com.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly
Rod
right.
Staggs has some communiques right now.
Well, as an example, over on MeWe, Don says, leather ones here in Amish country, but not sheepskin.
Okay, good.
Ricky... Or no, it's Rocky. They need to change the font. You give an inch, we call Avenatti on you. Just thought I'd share those. Some more of Avenatti's porn names coming through. I can't read that one. Creeping lawyer. That's good. I can read that one. The pubic defender.
Now a pubic defender. Do you mean public defender? No, we do not. Someone has Brozone.
Brent Dover.
Oh, Brent Dover.
Yeah, because, bend over.
Peeping Law.
That's
Wisconsin Jackhole has Blue Waffle.
The Italian Stallion.
MeWe.com/John. I don't know what it just says. MeWe. No, they said me too.
Nick Sweat.
But I like MeWe.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. 56 fatalities in the north, at least 3 in the south. The death toll from the wildfires burning across California. Although in the south, the winds have died down, and that's helping the firefighting crews. Coming later today, a federal judge's ruling in the press pass dispute between the Trump White House and CNN.
Lawyers for CNN and the Justice Department made arguments in district court on Wednesday, and afterwards, Judge Timothy Kelly said he will announce on Thursday afternoon whether to force the White House to return reporter Jim Acosta's press pass. CNN's lawsuit calls the White House banning of its correspondent an unabashed attempt to censor the press, but the administration argues it has broad discretion to regulate press access to the White House. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Saudi Arabia says 11 suspects have been indicted for the killing of Saudi columnist Jamal Khashoggi. He was murdered inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. The Senate rejecting a proposal to protect Special Counsel Robert Mueller from outside interference.
Arizona's Jeff Flake asking for unanimous consent to introduce a bill intended to
protect the integrity of the Special Counsel's investigation and spare it of any influence and interference from the executive branch.
Senate procedures allow any member to object. That's exactly what Mitch McConnell did.
Is there objection? Majority Leader? Objection is heard.
Flake vowed to oppose any Trump administration judicial nominees until his proposal gets a vote.
Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines. Illegal immigrants who have reached the U.S.-Mexico border and who vow to cross into the U.S. say they'll wait for others to arrive before they make their next move. Hundreds have been arriving by bus in Tijuana since Tuesday. Wall Street Dow futures up 51 points. NASDAQ futures 45 points higher. More on the...
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's DIA Thrive.com.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American made and serve those who serve us, our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com, use promo code DOC, and get 15% off your purchase. That's neverforgottenapparel.com.
This is Tim Barton from Wall Builders with another moment from American history. Many today wrongly claim our founding fathers were largely atheists, agnostics, and deists. Certainly some founders were less religious than others, but even they were not irreligious. Consider Benjamin Franklin. Definitely one of the least religious among them, yet when the delegates at the Constitutional Convention hit an impasse in their deliberations, it was Franklin who called them to prayer, invoking numerous scriptures to make his point. As he reminded them, God governs in the affairs of men, and if a sparrow cannot fall to the ground without his notice, is it probable that an empire can rise without his aid? We have been assured in the sacred writings that except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. I firmly believe this. So, even the least religious of America's founders urged public prayer and dependence on God. For more information about the faith of the founding fathers, go to wallbuilders.com.
Mothership has landed.
It has, in fact, landed. Coming up, less than 1/2 hour from right now, I have got an amazing story to tell you.
Okay.
It is historical in nature. Much of it you will remember, much of it you will not. But it matters so much right now. I shared a little bit of it with Brad Staggs this morning.
Yes.
And the first part of it, if you are under the age of, if you're over the age of 35, 40, you're going to remember parts of this and be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I forgot about it. But there is a whole other set of storylines that tie into it that I never knew. And we're coming up on an anniversary, and you're going to be fascinated as I was as well. We'll do that about a half hour from right now. We get Chef Patrick Mosier about, an hour from right now. And an update on what's going on with the continued assault on Americans' rights from politicians who want to take away your guns. Oh, there's some fascinating things coming up with the new Congress.
They're just taking the advice of Dennis over at Vivid. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up.
Do not.
And
honestly,
guess what?
We know that the starting point of all of this is the Constitution. That's the compromise. That's the thing that protects the rights of all people, regardless of Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, libertarian. It is the thing that personal freedoms above all else. That's the key, right? So the control freaks, the progressives, are always chipping away at it. They never stop. We have to be right and win 100% of the time to see the Constitution not changed or challenged. We have to win 100% of the time. What are the likelihoods of that?
Exactly.
It's not. They're going to win some.
And isn't it funny how CNN tries to hide behind the Constitution when it comes to people like Jim Acosta?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They'll use it when they want to use it to further their own cause.
Hey, we've got Thanksgiving a week from today. You are going to eat so much.
A food desert. It's a food desert.
I cannot. One of the greatest comic and yet true lines ever is, and I think it's Louis C.K., Thanksgiving is not over when I'm full.
Oh, no.
It's over when I hate myself.
Yes, that's it. When you're laying there thinking, why did I? Oh.
And you can be like, I got to just process. I can't. I'm disgusted. I hate myself for eating it. I feel horrible.
It's sport eating.
And the second that you ease that at all, You go from a 12 out of 10 on how much you hate yourself. As soon as you get back in the realm of 10, you're like, I'm going to get a piece of pie.
Yes. I mean, you understand why the Romans did what they did.
Oh, yeah.
Go
the
throw up and
vomitorium.
eat, yes.
Yeah. So here we are. I have to let you know a quick programming note that we're going to be off the air tomorrow. I have some husbandly duties I have to take care of tomorrow.
The chore.
Not that chore. That would be
the other
much more fun.
Gotcha. Yeah.
My wife has launched a business. A quick little side note here, and because of her job, she cannot go out and peddle her own wares. I have to peddle them for her.
Good thing she married a carnival barker.
Absolutely. I don't know anything about them. And so this starts today. I have to help her set up this booth for this show, and then I have to be educated and go through schooling and learn it. And after we set it up, then I got to man it all day tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, like 15 hours a day.
So what you're saying is you're going to be at a meet and greet
I will
tomorrow.
be, yeah, but
Come on out.
Yeah, but I'm not Doc
Tom.
Thompson then. I'm just a guy hawking his wife's wares. That's all it is. I'll be in incognito.
You sound like Michael Avenatti now.
I'll be incognito, and he is.
Yeah.
So, so that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I can't do it. And I promised her I would do this for about a year. So, okay, it's crunch time now. So, we'll be off the air. We'll be back Monday through Wednesday of next week. We'll be off for Thanksgiving, then Black Friday or 12-hour marathon. If you are worried about the holidays, you're already trying to lose weight, eat right or whatever, try Riduzone now. Order it today. Hopefully you'll have it by Thanksgiving. You're still going to enjoy food with Riduzone. It's just going to make you feel fuller, so you eat a little bit less.
It stops the sport eating. And seriously, that's what it's to help you do is with the sport eating. After you're full, that's when, and you continue to eat because that tastes good.
Yeah.
That's sport eating. That's where you start getting into fat.
Yeah, you're going to get to that full feeling a lot sooner.
Yes.
And the hate yourself feeling a lot sooner. Therefore, you're going to eat less. And it burns more. So you're going to be burning and processing more of that. You'll still eat. You'll still enjoy the holidays, whatever.
It's a tool.
But you'll have a little secret that no one else needs to know about unless you decide to tell them. And isn't that a wonderful position to be in?
And you'll have Riduzone as well.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and tell cousin Dan about Riduzone because I like him. But you know what? F Susan.
Exactly.
I'm not telling her.
Her ass keeps getting bigger.
You know
every year.
what? And look, I'm getting thinner. Enjoy that pie, Susan. Can I get you another piece? Wow, that turned dark. Riduzone.com. Try it today. It's Riduzone.com. Bottom line, it works.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
And this portion of the headlines brought to you by Riduzone.com.
Who?
Riduzone.com. Stop the sport eating. The top of our headlines this morning, Trump's mood turns dark, and he's pissed at damn near everyone. That was just a headline on CNN, so I figured I should include it here.
So they're still going and it's dark.
Yes, he's dark.
His mood is dark.
And with that, they had literally they had a shot of him with a shadow across half of his face.
He's on the dark side of the moon now, folks. You don't understand.
This is okay. So we've gone through all of the quote unquote scandals. So now the scandal is he's gone dark. That's all they got.
That they have nothing else.
It is. I didn't vote for him either.
I know, right?
I did not vote for this guy. It is amazing to watch this dog and pony show. Unlike the one in Tijuana, where
that's a different dog and pony show.
Totally different dog and pony show. And donkey show.
Wow, her father must be so proud.
Yes, the first large wave of the migrant caravan arrived in Tijuana.
The caravan is here?
It is. It's in Tijuana right now. They arrived Tuesday morning. About 400 migrants, mostly from Central America, rolled into the border city on 9 buses.
Wow.
They gave up on walking.
Okay, here's the thing. I may have to take back some of what I said about the caravan.
Which part?
It must, I said, is their life really that bad? And you don't know if you can trust them on it. I'm going to say their life must have really been bad to leave. Because if you are willing to go to Tijuana and spend any time at all, your life sucks.
Well, and it says some were hanging out of the bus windows and cheering.
For Tijuana?
For Tijuana.
Oh my golly, that's the success. That's the after picture.
Yes.
Hooray, we're in Tijuana.
Yes.
It's so
It's
wonderful and clean, and
apparently it's better than Honduras rather. The one Honduran flag was fluttering outside one of the bus windows. No word on what they're going to do next. If they're going to come to the border or if they are.
Wow, Honduras's new slogan is, "We hope to be Tijuana." Tijuana's slogan is, "At least we're not El Salvador."
We're buying donkeys. Please come back.
At least there's jobs to be had.
Yes, exactly. So we'll keep you updated as things change down there. In California, it's going to get worse. Officials fear many more deaths from California wildfires. Already 59 lives, and they say there's hundreds missing. They did find good news.
Yeah.
They found apparently a couple of hundred people that were missing. They found them. They were alive. I guess they just had lost track of them, but they found people alive.
Just like miscounted type of thing or
Yes,
whatever?
yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant like found them under burned shrubbery or something.
No. Well, funny you should mention that, because Jan Pasco and her husband, John, they waited out the fire in a pool. They tried to flee their Santa Rosa neighborhood by car. They could not escape. They thought fast. They decided on their neighbor's house because they had a pool. His home also went up in flames. They jumped in the pool and waited 6 hours.
Was there water in it? Or
yes, there was water in the pool. They used T-shirts to cover their faces from smoke and embers as they bobbed up and down in the water. Holy crap. Would you, I mean...
You're saying it, I was like, okay, I could see that or whatever. I don't think I was giving enough significance. Imagine if the fire is like literally all around the pool.
Oh, yeah.
Like full inferno blaze and smoke.
Yes.
Wow.
That just gave me goosebumps. I mean, because that is when you're thinking, okay, this is it. This is it. I'm done. You got fire all around you.
Do you go ahead and like dive for pennies and stand on your hands and do some flips in the water?
You know, I think that at that point they were probably trying, because think about how warm your fireplace is. If you're in your living room and you're like 5 feet from, and that's a little bitty fire. Now think about flames 20 feet high that are 10 feet away from you. How much heat that generates, and they're surrounding you. I mean,
to keep that water keeps you cool too. Wow, that's powerful.
A couple of interesting notes out of the fire, if there is anything as interesting. The home of Peanuts creator Charles Schultz was burned to the ground in the wildfire.
I didn't realize his home was there.
He lived there until his death in 2000. And the U.S. Postal Service.
Oh, those guys.
They're still delivering mail to the burned out neighborhoods. In other words, there's a shot of literally the houses are gone. There's one mailbox standing, and they were delivering mail to the mailbox.
Okay, let me get this straight.
Yeah.
They are willing to deliver mail to burned out houses as long as that mailbox is there. But if I move my mailbox 4 inches in one direction without telling, I'm sorry, we can't deliver mail because it's not right here.
Has Matt Locke brought that up on the air?
Oh, I think he's talked about it.
Because this is ridiculous.
He moved into a new the quick version is he moved into a new home, new development. He's one of the first people in. And there's not mailbox at each house. It's at the top of the development there at the beginning.
Yep.
They put the mailbox in the wrong place.
In the wrong place by like 10 feet.
And they moved it. Those obviously were not delivered to you. Moved it. The developer moved it. They still said it's wrong. Still do not deliver mail. And he has to drive miles to get to the post office to pick his mail up, even though there's another post office that is closer to his house.
You know why after they moved it, why they won't deliver it now?
Is it still in the wrong place?
Well, they're saying that the postal carrier doesn't want to make a 3-point turn in the truck.
Wow. They deliver for you, and remember, service is in their name.
Yeah, because it's a community box is what it is. But
you're not willing to make a 3-point turn to get out of going door to door on 100 homes, because that's what you're talking about. If that was a different development, fine, you don't have to do it. Deliver to every damn house.
I'm telling you, 49 cents just doesn't do it anymore.
I don't know what his development looks like. He's not invited me over to his house.
It's a bunch of houses lined up on the street.
I mean, the layout of it, I get that. But I mean, if they had to pull into his development and go house to house, I'm guessing they wouldn't have to make a 3-point turn, would they?
That's a fact.
That's what Matt should push. He should say, fine, deliver to our house.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to do it.
But they will deliver to a burned out neighborhood with a mailbox standing.
You know what? Damn it, that is his angle. Demand delivery to your house.
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh, we'll just put a thing at the top. Okay, great. 3-point turn.
We'll focus on that after the first of the year. It'll give us something to talk about. This is fascinating. Remember the homeless vet who gave his last $20 to a woman, and then another couple came in and, oh, this is so great. And they started a GoFundMe page. They got $400,000, and then the vet sued them because he said that they wouldn't give him the money, and they said, well, we're not going to give him the money till he gets clean and sober.
Yeah, there was a big scandal, and people were keeping the money, and it was got a very nice story, yeah.
Yes.
Do you have an update?
Yes. They were allegedly now working with the vagrant as part of an elaborate ruse, according to a new report. Prosecutors believe that Mark and Kate, we'll just call them Mark and Kate because those are their names. They conspired with the homeless man, Johnny Bobbitt is his name, to create the get-rich-quick scheme back in 2017. The couple turned themselves into authorities yesterday, but Bobbitt is still at large. News station said, yes, according to a source who spoke to the news outlet, which said it had a copy of the criminal complaint. All three are expected to face charges of conspiracy and theft by deception for working together to create the ruse.
You know, I
love people.
This does so much damage because not only have you hurt people, individuals that gave and whatever else.
Yes.
You have hurt giving across the board.
Yes.
Even if it's only slightly, because it's another one of those things where a person, you see somebody on the street, you go to give, you whatever, and then you go, I don't even know if that's real. I better not give.
Yes. Which, again, this is the whole people, they come up to you on the street. I remember the guy in Nashville with a cell phone in his hand. Hey, man, I'm out of money. Can I? You, dude, might want to put the cell phone down before you start asking.
And you know what? Unfortunately, we all have to be those judge now. You drive down the street, should I give? And then you're like, I don't know, does he really look? I don't want to be in that position. I'd love to be in a position where you could truly just help people.
Yeah.
So I look at the shoes, I look at the cell phone, all of this stuff. Not that you can't be hurting with those things, but it's a better indicator. Okay, I'll give you an example.
I look at their butt.
I wasn't going to bring this up because it seems kind of self-serving, but yesterday, I roll down to a local restaurant, a little takeout place. I go in, I get a little something. And I'm walking out, and a guy about 15 feet away, standing over by himself, he's like, excuse me, can you help me get a meal or eat or something like that? And a couple bucks so I can get something to eat, something like that.
Right.
And I had, honestly, zero cash. I usually don't carry any money.
Right.
Because I don't have any money. It's usually credit cards. It's just charge.
I would carry it if I had it, but
I had it, but I don't. And I was like, sorry, I don't got any money. I looked at him. And this guy was homeless. This guy was, he needed help.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you really want money? And I go, are you hungry? And he's like, yeah, I need to eat or something like that. And I was like, come on. So I just went in and bought him a meal. And it wasn't one of those, can you just give me the money? It wasn't any of that. It was like,
that was nice of you.
And he was like, thanks, man.
Of course, now you don't get the credit because you talked about it. See, that's how it works. Because you always, if you do something nice, if you talk about it, you're screwed.
Well, and for the purpose of this, though, I mean, I just did it for the story or whatever, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
What do you mean I don't get credit from who? From God?
Yeah, from the God in the universe. If you do something nice and you don't talk about it, you get credit. Haven't you always learned that? And but if you do something nice and you talk about it.
I've done lots of nice things that I've never talked about. I ain't getting any damn credit for that. I think you're flawed in that. I'm going to start tooting my own horn.
We will.
And I'm going to talk about the things I do.
Somebody's got to do it. We will continue with your headlines.
Like tooting my own horn.
Exactly. After a word from our sponsor of this portion of the headlines, Dog Tag Furniture.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank one of our sponsors, dogtagfurniture.org, powering this segment. That's dogtagfurniture.org. Now back to you, Bradley.
Today is...
Oh, we should probably do a little bit more of a commercial.
Should, yes.
Dog Tag Furniture is a great organization. It's a nonprofit that is charged with the task of helping bury veterans, pay for the costs of burying veterans.
And it actually does do that. It is not a scam.
Right. That's so many questionable charities out there as well. And you just don't know. You do your best to vet them and still try to give. Dog Tag Furniture was started because a guy needed to help bury a friend. And the friend's wife's like, I don't have any money to bury him. Upon studying this, he realized, guess what? Veterans get so little death benefits, which just means they end up getting hit with a huge expense. And if you're a veteran who served your country, you're doing it partially for your family and your spouse and your kids. To think about your death costing them thousands and thousands of dollars, It's got to be horrible.
It is criminal.
So if you go to dogtagfurniture.org and you buy one of their flags or one of their other great products there, because they have some other wear and stuff like that, a bunch of the money, most of the profits actually goes to helping veterans, helping bury them so their family doesn't get stuck with that bill. And you get a great product. Their wooden flags are awesome. Great conversation pieces. They'll look good in your home, and you get them specially designed as well.
Great gift. It's coming up on Christmas.
Dogtagfurniture.org. Check it out today.
It is Thursday. It's November 15th. There are 39 days until Christmas, and it's National Spicy Hermit Cook-It Day. Or Cookie Day, rather.
Hermit Cookie?
It's National Cook-a-Hermit Day.
Oh, I thought...
You know, they're really tasty with barbecue sauce.
Hermit cookies?
Hermit cookies.
What the heck's a hermit cookie?
Yeah, I know.
Like crab cookies or like a hermit?
It's an old-fashioned cookie spiced with cinnamon, cloves, allspice, and sometimes nutmeg, and filled with raisins, nuts, and dates.
You had me until raisins.
I guess you can leave the raisins out.
I mean, I like the raisins are okay, but what do you junk? Give me that recipe again. Give me that
detail. It's cinnamon, cloves, allspice, and sometimes nutmeg, and filled with raisins, nuts, and dates. Raisins just give you a little something.
Maybe if they're buried in there with the nuts and everything. All right, I'll try them.
So you like your raisins buried with nuts?
Where are they?
Where? What?
I said I'll try them. Where are they?
They're you have
just
to make
throw
them.
out as
you have
food
to
and not
make you. They don't just sell. You
the
have to
rule
make
is you
them.
don't mention this stuff unless you have some of it.
Ron has them. Ask
that's
him.
a fail.
It was on this day in 1864.
1864.
His march began.
1864, that would be Sherman's march to the sea as he burned Atlanta and other cities of the South.
He burned them to the... I'm burning this place down.
I'm going from memory. Another little trivia, throwing it out there, just randomly out there. I believe it was Sherman who said war is hell. I believe he is the one who is...
Was it?
Yeah. Who is...
he may have.
Quoted, war is hell.
And very hot at the same time.
He... Old Southerners in Atlanta don't like him so much.
Yeah, I can understand.
Not a big favorite of theirs.
No. In 1859, the final installment of this was published.
1859, the final installment. I was going to say Life, but that's not it because they had some in the 70s. 1859, the final establishment. Saturday Night Post.
A Tale of Two Cities. And I almost said it backwards.
Wait, what?
A Tale of Two Cities.
The final installment?
Yes, it was a serial. It was actually a serial that, gosh, what's his name?
Dickens.
Yes, Dickens. Yeah, it was a series of books.
That wasn't just one book?
No, it was not.
So you wrote pieces like chapters, and would you put them in the back of a cereal box or something?
It was, let's see, but it was It was published in his circular called All the Year Round, and
you know what's really weird though? The circular is rectangular shape. The paper's rectangular. I don't get it.
It's a misnomer.
I didn't know that. Wow.
It's also named wrong, basically.
Well, it was a different time back then. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. So.
And yes.
That's an educated joke, ain't it?
Yes, it is. That's a thinking man's joke is what that is. Jimmy Choo is 65 today, by the way.
Really? What were the two cities in Tale of Two Cities? Ha-ha! Ha-ha!
London and the other one.
Yeah.
I got it 50% right.
Okay, what else you got?
London, Paris.
There it is.
I knew that. Ed Asner is 88 today, by the way.
Hairy, very hairy man.
He's a very, very hairy man. And by the way, tip of the day, storing your cling film in the freezer can make it much easier to handle because the cold
seems rather disconnected.
It is disconnected, but I just thought I'd throw in a tip of the day occasionally, just to help your life make it a little bit easier.
That's Brad's tip of the day.
Yeah, a movie pass update. Yes, it just keeps.
Shouldn't this be a historical? And on this day, Movie Pass went belly up 20 years ago.
It is the longest death I've ever seen of a company. It is amazing to watch.
Really?
And quite pleasurable.
Really? Is it the longest death of a company? True. Really, Brad Staggs?
No, you're right.
You can't think of any other that would rival this?
Yes, actually, I can.
From start to finish that had a brighter future?
Very good point.
Okay, I'm just
very
asking.
Good point.
Does any other company? Okay.
Edsel. I just can't believe they went out that. Helios and Matheson Analytics, the parent company of MoviePass, they are canceling a stock split that it had hoped would reinvigorate its share price.
It was a reverse, though, right?
It was a verse. remember, their stock is now, it was trading at like $18 a share, and then it's down to a cent and a half now. So what they were going to do was they had a vote of the shareholders. They wanted to do a 1 for 500 reverse stock split. And the investors said no. Go figure. They all said no. The stock, they're going to be delisted by NASDAQ here shortly because it has to be trading at least $1 a share by December 18th. Good luck with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're hoping to do.
Yes.
So reverse stock split, by the way, has nothing to do with the reverse cowgirl.
No.
They both have reverse, but very different things.
Yes. And you feel the same after both of them.
Yes, absolutely. And
Yes.
the reverse cowgirl split, that's a whole different thing altogether.
Boy, is that completely different. There have been a lot of UFO sightings here lately. Now they're saying the UFO seen off the Irish coast in all probability were meteorites.
Shocking they weren't really actual like extraterrestrials.
How do you know they weren't? That's what they always say when it's really a UFO. It was just northern. You saw Venus.
It wasn't those. It was swamp gas.
It was just swamp gas. Pilots reported a UFO over Ireland last Friday, most likely a shooting star, according to a leading expert from the government.
Oh, well, then.
Who remains unnamed.
Of course, you can trust them. Of course.
Shannon Air Traffic Control was contacted by a captain flying over Kerry, that's in Ireland, by the way, to say that he had seen a speeding bright light with 2 other pilots in the area confirming the sighting. Remember, pilots are stupid. So when they see bright lights, they just, they think they don't think.
Right, of course.
They don't think shooting stars because they're too stupid to see, to
That's
be
how
able
they
to tell
treat 'em, yeah.
a shooting star from a UFO. Please.
You know what's funny? It just doesn't carry the same amount of weight as it used to. To say that you saw a UFO used to be back in the day. It was something now.
Something's coming.
I think they've been working us to tell us at some point that it's
coming.
real.
Yes. That's exactly what's going on.
We would have flipped. I mean, look at War of the Worlds. People would have freaked. Aliens.
Yes.
Now we'll be like, are they hot?
Do they have money? Can we sell advertising to them? Those are your headlines.
Radio Revolution, MoJo 50.
Not surprisingly, as many have noted that Fox News has moved farther left, the news organization on Wednesday sided with CNN's reporter Jim Acosta, who recently had his White House press pass revoked. CNN filed a lawsuit on Tuesday demanding that Acosta's press pass be restored after Acosta refused to relinquish the microphone to an intern when directed to do so by the president. Following suit, Fox News indicated it intended to file an amicus brief in support of Acosta's lawsuit. Fox News President Jay Wallace said in part, "While we don't condone the growing antagonistic tone by both the president and the press at recent media avails, we do support a free press, access, and open exchanges for the American people." White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders fired off a response saying in part, "This is just more grandstanding from CNN, and we will vigorously defend against this lawsuit." CNN, who has nearly 50 additional hard pass holders, and Mr. Acosta is no more or less special than any other media outlet or reporter with respect to the First Amendment. Perhaps the media has forgotten how it was treated by former President Obama. Here's a sampling of what was said then. Obama White House Communications Director Anita Dunn told the New York Times in 2009 when speaking about Fox News, "We're going to treat them the way we would treat an opponent." In 2015, a New York Times reporter called the Obama administration the greatest enemy of press freedom in a generation. Can you say selective memory, anyone? And that's today's Reality Check with Susan Knowles.
Hey guys, Ron Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. Are you tired of the bar scene, hoping to find the love of your life? Well, there is a better way for you single guys and ladies out there. Check out WeThePeople.dating. They make it easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating for the love of people and people of love. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
All right, let's get some communiques in here right now.
Bearded Lucky Fark, and you're absolutely right. Can you really trust an Irishman to tell the difference between a shooting star and a UFO? That's true.
That's a great point.
Because you see, they're always drunk. It's those Irishmen.
The Irish drink?
Yeah, I know. I was shocked to find that out too.
Wow, that's.
But apparently, they do have a tendency to drink. And I think
Ron, every time I mentioned pilots being stupid, Ron kept looking over here at me because,
he's not looking at you. That's just the wonky eye.
Oh, that's what that is.
It's very confusing.
Pilots are not stupid.
Exactly. Thank you for backing up my point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's the point, though. But he's right. You're a pilot, especially, listen, anybody who was a pilot in the service, these cats are vetted. These are smart people, right? I mean, these are the cream of the crop.
The eyesight has to be good.
Right. And they're the ones you're like, no, you misunderstood. That's just a shooting star.
Remember the Foo Fighters? The Foo Fighters in, was it World War I or II? That the
band?
No. They were named after they were the balls.
That's where I thought he was going.
The pilots in World War, I think it was World War II, saw the balls of fire. They would fly up next to them in their airplanes. They were called Foo Fighters. Look it up. Kirk the All-Powerful.
I like just pausing because the pressure. Brad's like, they're not buying this. They're not. I feel the pressure on.
I have the confidence that comes from knowing.
Very good.
Hell no, I'm looking it up right now.
Please do, and you report back to us.
Yeah, don't Google images of Foo Fighters though.
No, because you'll just come up with the band. Actually, if you do that in World War II, you'll find it. Movie Pass is really, really, really not the longest death of a company.
No, it's not. It is not.
That's started with a hot future.
Yeah.
Let's see. A Movie Pass is 1/1800th of what it used to be, only slightly less than Elizabeth Warren is Native American.
Yeah, their stock price is valued at 1,024 now of a penny.
And while we're here, Nick Herring, his Avenatti porn name, Bob Longlaw.
Love the Bob Long. Love him.
Mr. The Italian side of this did that one. Wow. February Aquarius came up with a whole list. Butt Reynolds, Nude Law. Nope, can't read that one. Nope, not that one. Tom Spanks, Michael Avenudity.
Ooh, I like that.
Dick Thompson, and
I like that.
Mr. Dockett.
I like Mr. Dockett. That's good too. Mm-hmm. Michael Avenudity. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. What an amazing statement. What a great quote. And I was thinking about that over the weekend over the last couple of days, because this weekend marks a really interesting time period. This Sunday is the 40th anniversary of an event that I remember pretty well. And I wanted to discuss it because it's a fascinating story. And it's a little bit of nostalgia for me. And it's just steeped in so much that we discuss now even.
Yes.
So I remember it pretty well, or so I thought. Last night, I started doing some research.
That's dangerous.
I know, and this was actually yesterday afternoon. And what was supposed to be 20, 40 minutes of a little refresher, some details about something, ended up being hours and hours long of a rabbit hole that I did not know existed.
Yeah.
I started with this one story and then realized, oh my gosh, it's also the 40th anniversary of the midterms of the Carter administration, 1978. Wow. And I'm looking at all the details, and I noticed a couple of interesting things. And I started following that thread that had nothing to do with this original story. And before I knew it, the stories actually tie together. The original story I was investigating this Sunday marks the 40th anniversary of Jonestown.
Wow.
For those of you too young or that were too drunk during that period that do not remember Jonestown, look it up. Do your research. I'll give you a quick rundown of what happened to refresh your memory and then tell you some things you probably didn't know or don't remember. Jonestown was named after Jim Jones, a cult leader, essentially. It culminated in the murders, not even really the deaths, but the murders of almost 1,000 people. 918, but there were other people that were killed at other places and along the way, so over 900, almost 1,000 people killed.
Right.
It was the largest single act of mass killing of American citizens until 9/11.
Do they refer to it as killing even though they kind of did it themselves?
Well, and that's the problem. It's the mass deaths, killing, murders. The people, many of them committed suicide, but the suicides were because they were brainwashed to do so, or the ones who tried to back out, it was poison yourself or we're going to shoot you. Now, I just tweeted out some of the iconic pictures of Jonestown, and these are the pictures I remember from, I was 9, 10 years old. I remember, do you remember the shots of the pavilion?
Yes.
The aerial shots, the choppers go. I remember watching the news, flying over and seeing it's an open air pavilion, people in the pavilion and scattered around it, just like littered like laundry over the landscape.
Yes.
And I just tweeted pictures, and those are my memories. But the term drinking the Kool-Aid comes from that.
Yeah.
They had been brainwashed and to move to Guyana. They're American. Or to Guyana, South America, as part of this cult. And it has a long history. We'll touch on some of it. But the Americans that were there were brainwashed and trained. At some point, you may have to kill yourself and drink this Kool-Aid. And they got used to it. When the final fit hit the shan, they went to the pavilion and handed out Kool-Aid with poison in it. With, I think it was cyanide or strychnine, one of the two. Yeah. Anyway, they drank it. Those that knew what was coming and tried to back out, the goons of Jim Jones forced them to drink the Kool-Aid that was spiked with poison. So the terms drinking the Kool-Aid comes from those who knowingly drank this and killed themselves, because they also metaphorically, in terms now, drank the Kool-Aid because they went along with his crap knowingly. Many of them knew what was going on, and they went along with it because they bought his BS.
He was a leader. He had the gift.
Let me give you a little bit more of the history of it before I tell you the part you probably didn't know. I remember the news reports, the made-for-TV movies, all of those, but I didn't remember all of the other things it touched. I remember that there was a sitting U.S. congressman that was assassinated as part of this. I didn't know that the events so tied into the very discussions we have every day about D.C. and some of the people you know. I just discovered it. Jim Jones started what was called the People's Temple in the 1950s in Indianapolis. And it was based on something he called apostolic socialism. Brad, it's not socialism. It's democratic. I mean, it's apostolic, meaning like the apostles.
Okay.
It's religion. It's like Jesus would have socialism.
Right.
Let me pause here and say, when Jesus comes back, it's going to be some socialism. It's okay, because you know who's going to run it?
Jesus.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It'll be socialism with a benevolent dictator.
Yes.
We will all give, we will all be, we will all, this is what I want. But without Jesus, it's just socialism. It's just not a benevolent dictator. It's just a dictator. It's a man. It's somebody who is a little more equal. So you can call it whatever crap you want. No, it's democratic socialism. It's apostolic socialism.
You can name it, yeah.
He called it that, but it was not so akin to the Bible and much more akin to Marxism. It was basically liberation theology. But he called it apostolic socialism. Liberation theology. Where have we heard those terms in the last 8-10 years?
It's a pretty name. It's a very
During
pretty
the Obama administration, many of us first became aware of this because Reverend Wright's church was based on liberation theology. It is Marxism that is justified because they say, well, racism exists and we need Marxism to stop this racism because men are evil, so on and so forth. That's what liberation. And they go into minority communities and people and say, you know what? You've been wronged by people. I'm going to set you free. And in order to gain power, I've got to give a face to those who've wronged you. And that face, when it comes to liberation theology, is whitey.
Need an enemy.
In Germany, the face was the Jews.
Yep.
That's all it is, same stuff. So that's what his church was based on. So the church, while in Indiana, was accused by the press of questionable practices. So Jim Jones stepped up while being accused and said, let's run to California.
As all people who are innocent do.
Ran to California, opened offices and churches in Los Angeles and San Francisco, eventually long-term culminating with a big temple in San Francisco, and kind of formed it all there. Now, Jones quickly became connected in the community to prominent politicians. He and the mayor of San Francisco, George Moscone, even got to meet privately with vice presidential candidate Walter Mondale when he was campaigning with Jimmy Carter in 76. Days before the 76 election, and these are the parts that I didn't know about Jonestown, is who Jim Jones was connected to. Mondale met with them days before the election. Mondale praised the People's Temple, was a spokesperson and advocate for it. Now, it's not to suggest they knew it was going on or that Jim was a dictator. I just want you to know Jim Jones was connected. He even met with First Lady Rosalind Carter many occasions. In September of 1977, about a year before all of this went down, the Jonestown incident, a California assemblyman by the name of Willie Brown. How do we know the name Willie Brown Brad Staggs?
Let's see.
He became the
mayor of San Francisco.
Exactly.
You know?
At the time, in 1977, he was an assemblyman.
Yeah.
He served as the master of ceremonies at big dinner for Jim Jones at the temple. Okay, he's a California assemblyman at the time. Governor Jerry Brown was there, who was just finishing up another term as governor right now.
I remember that.
Willie Brown described Jones at this meeting as a combination of Martin Luther King Jr., Angela Davis, Albert Einstein, and Chairman Mao.
Wow. And let me translate. He gave a lot of money to those guys.
There it is.
Yeah.
A local reporter was like, something going on here. This cat's weird. So he wrote an expose, investigates Jim Jones, and wrote an expose and accused him of financial fraud, physical mistreatment of members of the church that followed him, abuse, sexual even in nature, of children. Jim Jones stepped up and faced those allegations by said, we're running to Guyana. Indiana, California, Guyana. He told his followers, listen, we got to leave California. Nuclear holocaust is coming. And you know where we'll survive? Guyana. So he does all kinds of shady-ass deals with the government of Guyana in order to get almost 1,000 people to legally immigrate there. And they said, that's fine. You can have this piece of property that is out in the middle of nowhere, 150 miles from, what's the big capital there? Again, the capital is Georgetown, maybe? Anyway, 150 miles. The region is 12 miles from any water source. And the earth there, even though this was going to be an agricultural commune, they were going to be self-sustaining and grow their own crops, the area is not suitable for growing anything that you would eat.
Right.
They described it in a region that already has trouble growing crops is the worst in Guyana. But that's what they gave him to grow stuff. So he ends up out there doing all kinds of shady deals. He even flashed $500,000 in cash to the government. Hey, we'll invest this. So they all emigrate down there.
Wow.
Now, a year later, concerned family members haven't heard from their family members who emigrated there as part of this commune to follow Jim Jones. They'd gotten reports of all kinds of shady things. So they contacted Congressman Leo Ryan and said, you got to do something. You're our local congressman. Right. He schedules a visit and goes down there. Tours the whole facility, whatever. Ends up out on the tarmac of this small little landing strip that they have on the way home. And Jim Jones orders that his goons open fire on Congressman Leo Ryan and his group. His aides were with him, killing multiple people, including assassinating a sitting U.S. congressman.
I remember watching the film of that happening.
Now, they don't have definitive reasons why he flipped and did this. Maybe he thought Jim Jones knew something. They've led us to believe that somebody had slipped some notes to him saying, because when he toured, they're all like, everything is fine. Everything is fine. like this.
Yeah.
And yet they're like, it's not fine. Get us out. Like this. Because they were not allowed to leave. They were under threat of being killed. They were going to be killed. So they were really prisoners. Some were brainwashed. Some were more prisoners.
Right.
So he shoots them all on the tarmac, and then Jim Jones goes into DEFCON 1, his plan, which had been all along that they would all kill themselves, because they've gone through rehearsals of this. They were all ordered to the pavilion for a gathering and ordered to come up and drink the Kool-Aid, feed it to their children as well. Those that denied it, tried to run, flee, wouldn't do it. Some of them they shot. Others they threatened to shoot. In the end, they all just drank it and ended up killing almost 900 people.
That is so stunning.
Now, during the time where he was being accused, let's back up a little bit. 1977, Jim Jones was being scrutinized. he had actually been serving as a housing commission chairman for the city of San Francisco. Remember, he was connected with all of those people. So when he's accused, all these politicians, not only is he a prominent member of this church or whatever, but he's also part of our government. He's one of us, right? Yeah. And he's obviously a progressive with this stuff. So during that time, San Francisco's first district of elections for Board of Supervisors took place. They changed the structure of this. And among those that were elected with this new system under this progressive mayor, Moscone, was the first openly gay supervisor, Harvey Milk. You may recall Harvey Milk, the movie that was out, right? Yeah. A single mother was elected, an attorney by the name of Carol Ruth Silver, a police officer named Dan White, who is also a fireman. They joined the board members that were already there, like Dianne Feinstein and Ron Pelosi. The thought Plickens. Feinstein was elected president of the Board of Supervisors, and she was part of the more conservative camp of progressives. Harvey Milk, the openly gay, and Moscone, and then these others. And this Dan White was also more conservative as well.
Right.
Now, they had control of the Board of Supervisors 6-5. She didn't support Moscone. She had lost her race for mayor multiple times. She was, you lost multiple. It's going to be hard to run a third in time and win this thing, right? But she's president of the Board of Supervisors, which is also kind of like a vice mayor. In other words, if something happens to the mayor, you become the mayor, having lost twice. While most of Jim Jones' political allies, I don't know this guy, I don't know him, when he fled and all the questionable things, some did not. As a show of support, Willie Brown, the congressman or the state legislator, spoke out against enemies of his at a rally at the Temple. Harvey Milk was there. Harvey Milk even doubled down, wrote a letter to President Carter defending Jim Jones as a man of the highest character. Wow. And they were just trying to damage Jones' reputation. They rallied around him. They were all said they were bold-faced lies. As it turns out, they were not. Again, not that these guys knew that. I'm just showing you the politics of this, right? Jim Jones, as I said, was serving as housing commissioner. So Mayor Moscone announced in his office that he would not investigate Jim Jones and the People's Temple. After the tragedy, Temple members revealed that the Temple used to arrange busloads, that's a quote, busloads of members to be bussed in from the Redwood Valley to San Francisco to vote in the elections. Even though they were not residents, even though they were not registered to vote. A former Temple member stated that many of those members were not registered to vote in San Francisco. Another former member said, quote, Jones swayed elections by bussing people in for Moscone and others.
Wow.
Prior to leaving San Francisco, Jones claimed, because some of them started turning on him, including Moscone, that they bribed Moscone with sexual favors from female Temple members, including at least one, who was underage. Moscone was described as frequenting Temple parties with, quote, cocktail in hand and doing some ass grabbing. Not really religious, right? Okay, Here's where it gets good, folks. Here's the culmination of all of that backstory. Late in 1978, Dan White resigned from the Board of Supervisors. Remember, he was one of the more conservative.
Right.
His resignation was an indication that Moscone's going to get to appoint somebody that will be more liberal. Somebody in his camp, right? That'll be with him and Milk, right? White's people all said, what are you doing? You can't bail, whatever. So he goes back and says, all right, I know I resigned. Will you appoint me to my seat? The seat I just resigned. A lot of people in the media tried to make this out that Dan was just conservative, right-wing, hated the gays. Maybe he did. This wasn't about the politics of left, right, gays, straights. It was not about that as they tried to make it. Because, again, Milk was openly gay. Right. Moscone was supportive of all that. Well, it was more about him not getting the seat appointment, that they were closing ranks and he was losing. Moscone originally indicated, he'll appoint him to his seat, but when it came down to it, he didn't. So White has a meeting with him.
Right.
He turns him down. Later on, White goes back to the city hall, sneaks in through a basement window to avoid the metal detectors with his cop gun, goes to Moscone's office, and on November 27th, 1978, 9 days after Jonestown, 9 days, guns down Moscone, kills him dead. Reloads, goes across the hall to Milk's office, passes Dianne Feinstein in the hall on the way, and others, and guns down Harvey Milk. Not so much because they were gay or different political ideas, but because he was losing politically power. People were standing against him.
Yeah. It's all about
That's all pretty interesting, right?
Uh-huh.
Days later, Dianne Feinstein is sworn in as the new mayor because she was the head of the Board of Supervisors, and that was the secession, the line of secession.
Yep.
December 4th, she's sworn in as the new mayor, officially. White later turned himself into the police station, and and this is one of those, we told you about drink the Kool-Aid, where that comes from. Yep. I didn't realize the term Twinkie defense, which I knew what it was, comes from the Dan White trial. It's been tried since then.
Yeah.
During his trial, where he was on trial for murdering 2 people, his attorney argued that people think it means he was so hopped up on sugar from eating junk food that he did it. It's been kind of spun. No. His attorney argued that he was depressed, and that's why he did it. But as an indicator to show he was depressed, because he's like, well, did he go talk to somebody? Was he diagnosed? They didn't have any proof. So he said, Twinkies. Look, you could see this guy who used to be really healthy and eat healthy had thrown in the towel when it came to eating healthy and was just eating junk food like Twinkies. And they could document that. And he said that's proof that he was depressed. Okay, maybe it is or not, but everyone laughed at it.
Yeah.
A couple of years later, when he gets convicted of not murdering 2 people.
Which seems like it'd be
which would be premeditated murder, one of 2 people.
Uh-huh.
No. He gets convicted of voluntary manslaughter of 1 person and is convicted and sentenced to 8 years in jail. That's it.
Unbelievable.
And the people, especially in the gay community of San Francisco, melted down, and they called it the night of White Night.
Yeah.
White Night. The riots, the White Night riots for Dan White. So that's pretty interesting right there.
Uh-huh.
But another little side note for you. Leo Ryan, when he was gunned down on that tarmac, he was gunned down. He was succeeded by a guy who served for a handful of years, congressman. This was, I think, the 11th district at the time of California Congress. And then that guy ran, and another guy replaced him. And eventually, years later, a lady replaced him. And then that lady was replaced by Nancy Pelosi. Leo Ryan's seat, although it has shifted to a different numbered district, but most of the people that were represented by Leo Ryan are now represented, that area, by Nancy Pelosi.
It's a circle of life. Isn't that amazing? How all that ties in together.
And again, Nancy Pelosi, her brother-in-law, Ron Pelosi, was the other supervisor. Nancy Pelosi's father was I want to say he's either governor of Maryland or maybe it was mayor of Baltimore. Anyways, a prominent politician as well. I don't know how she ended up in California, but she did, and then buys into that. Now, her and her husband's family own some stuff in the region.
They're just staying in the family business.
Yeah.
That's all. Politics.
These people have realized that if you own a business and you're a politician, as long as you navigate those waters properly, you're going to be able to funnel all kinds of people from one of your ventures to the other, right? People know you as a business owner, so you get elected. Where are you going there? And then you funnel ideas. Remember, Congress, you're allowed to insider trade. Congressmen or their families are.
Well, they should be allowed to do that.
You funnel contracts back and forth and stuff like this.
Of course.
And then, hey, I want to do you a little favor. I'll use Nancy Inc. LLC, right? Or whatever for my printing needs or whatever your business is.
As it should be. That's what government is for, is to further the careers of those involved in it.
Dianne Feinstein served about 10 years as mayor with some really shady and questionable things. Eventually, during a special election, gets elected as a senator to the state of California. If Moscone had not been gunned down that night, she and if Leo Ryan had not been gunned down, all tied together with the same people. Remember, Jim Jones served with these people. He knew them. He got many of them elected. If Jim Jones did not exist, Leo Ryan would not have been killed. Nancy Pelosi probably would not have that seat. Leo Ryan would have served for a number of years. It throws off the timeline. Maybe she'd done other things fine, but Speaker of the House, probably not. If Jim Jones had not been connected and served on that count as a supervisor or commissioner or whatever, guess what? Some of these people wouldn't have been elected. Moscone wouldn't have been gunned down. Dianne Feinstein does not get to be mayor.
And the family of the family that was killed by the Hillside Strangler.
The Night Stalker. It was
the Night Stalker.
Ramirez.
Ramirez was the Night Stalker, yeah. They wouldn't have been killed because Dianne Feinstein would have been mayor.
She let the cat out of the bag, and he ended up slipping through the cop's fingers. She screwed that up.
To it too.
It's all tied in there. And all to Jim Jones. And the 40th anniversary of that amazingly bad and fascinating story is this Sunday, 40 years ago.
And when I hear people, especially, youngsters today, drink the Kool-Aid, they don't
even know what it means.
And who was it? It was somebody's talking about the people that they managed. Maybe Beth talking about some of her team that was. They were talking about drinking the Kool-Aid. She said, "You know where that came from?" No.
Oh, they don't. It's understandable.
Yes, but when you think about that reference, it's really scary because it's a reference to mass murder or suicide.
It's like the now accepted verb relief factored.
Yes,
right. When you feel so much better, you're like, and they don't know where it comes from.
No, they don't, and we can tell you that historic story as well.
Well, we'll tell you the whole backstory someday, but let's just tell them about the product.
I think
where it comes from. The story's too
right.
long to get to.
Relief Factor is a way that you can actually get relief from pain without ingesting all of those the potentially dangerous drugs.
You don't want dangerous drugs.
You don't. You really
That's
don't.
More natural with botanicals and stuff.
And omega-3s. And that's what Relief Factor is all about. I've been taking it for about 4 years now.
I've been taking for about 5 years now.
Actually 6 if I
like
really
6 and a half if I figure they
7 if I really think about it. But I take it every day. And as a matter, when we went to D.C., I forgot to take it. And I was like...
He bitched the whole damn time.
Jones. And it was weird because it was like... I don't have the... It's my morning
I'm in pain.
Morning and night. I take this stuff. It worked, especially when I had my foot surgeries. I think it helped me heal faster.
All you have to do is go to relieffactor.com and try it today. Listen, for under $20 to try something that is likely going to get rid of that pain that you've had for years and years.
And use it as directed.
For people that are in pain, you know what I'm talking about. You're willing to try anything. Try this. It's $20. Most people get pain relief, and that's what it's about.
Yes.
Relieffactor.com. It's worked for Brad and countless others. Relieffactor.com.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The death toll from the Camp wildfire in Northern California continues to rise.
Today, during the course of our searches, an additional 8 human remains were recovered. That brings the total up to 56.
Butte County Sheriff Corey Honey with the 3 fatalities in the Southern California fires. The fire-related death toll now stands at 59. And some of those who have been chased from their homes by the fires say they can't wait to return to see what, if anything, is left of their houses.
I just want to go home. I don't even care if there's no home. I just want to go back to my dirt.
It's getting down to the wire for Florida counties to wrap up their vote recounts. The deadline arrives this afternoon, although Democrats are suing to extend the deadline. Political turmoil in Britain amid skepticism over the Brexit deal worked out by Prime Minister Theresa May. And a series of resignations from May's government. Brexit Secretary Dominic Raab is among those. stepping down.
Raab says he cannot in good conscience support the terms proposed for the deal with the EU. He adds that no democratic nation has ever signed up to be bound by such an extensive regime. The resignation is a big blow to Prime Minister Theresa May. She's already facing an uphill struggle to convince enough lawmakers in Parliament to accept the agreement unveiled Wednesday evening. As a result of the confusion surrounding the Brexit plan, the British pound has fallen sharply. Charles de Ledesma, London.
Saudi Arabia's top prosecutor recommending the death penalty for 5 of the 11 suspects charged with ordering and then carrying out the killing of Saudi writer Jamal Khashoggi. He was killed inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures are higher. Dow futures up about 80 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 43, and S&P futures up a little more than 9 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It looks like you're losing.
I am.
Are you losing weight?
I am losing. I've lost about 10 pounds.
How are you doing it?
It's a funny name, but I've done it with Riduzone. RIDUzone.com, and the stuff works. It's, you get into all that, the molecule this and the found in that. All I can tell you is it makes you feel full, and it keeps your mind off of wanting to overeat.
And also boosts your metabolism, so you're burning more.
Yeah,
Try it today. It's going to work for you like it's worked for Brad and countless other people. Riduzone.com. RIDUzone.com.
Hey, it's Doc Thompson. Got the new show on MoJo 50 coming up. Hopefully you'll join us for that. And as a regular feature, my good friend, my life partner, Chef Patrick Mosier. I mean that in a food sort of way.
I would hope so.
Yeah. You'll be joining us on the broadcast as well?
Absolutely. Every day that you ask me to.
Talking food and business and prostitutes, right? Because you're the food biz pro, and that's what the pro's for.
It's all about cocaine and hookers.
It's all about cocaine and hookers until somebody gets arrested. And then it's about the legal system. And, well, you get the point. We'll be talking food and food trends and business. And, of course, we'll be spotlighting business, as I always have on my broadcast. But Chef Patrick Mosier will join us, and he has his own platform starting soon on Spoonie Radio.
Spoonie Radio, 24-hour food talk radio.
Can you really talk about food for 24 hours a day?
I could, but even I don't want to listen to myself talk about food for 24 hours. So we will have
somebody will.
Someone will be on the air 24 hours a day talking food, fun, travel, culture, and more than anything, food.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Ship has landed.
All right, I'm curious about the communiques and what people are saying, because I know it was a rather long story. I found it fascinating. I hope other people learned something or got something out of it as well.
Actually, they did. B from the SAV, Feinstein and Pelosi were political inevitabilities.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I was a kid, so I wasn't going to know all the details of what happened in the background of the church. I just remember the graphic pictures and all that. But in recent years, I've gone back and looked at the story and read through it, and I was like, oh, I didn't know about this, that. Just yesterday, 40 years later, on the verge of it, did I know that it was 9 days after that Harvey Milk and the mayor ended up being killed. Yeah. And because of that, Dianne Feinstein got promoted to mayor, essentially.
And I never saw the movie, Milk.
I didn't either. Now I want to go back and see it, because I thought it was going to be a propaganda piece. You know, pro-gay. I'm not anti-gay. I don't care. I just don't want to be, marketed to pro-gay.
I don't want
whatever.
it shoved down my throat.
Well, and then you have the whole story of White. Even when I went back and watched videos, they kept trying to make it that he was anti-gay, and he may have been. He certainly didn't look like friends, but it was not about that. The lessons here are political manipulation, big government, the people lying and manipulating you as they run for it. Yes. And it's easy now, in hindsight, to go back and see how it did end up playing out, right? I mean, that's the takeaway when we talk about all this other stuff.
I have another take on that as well.
Who said that? Who said? Oh, Chef Patrick Mosier joining us now.
It's Ron.
Look at that.
We talk about when someone at the when someone at the top moves on, then everybody moves up a chair. Sometimes that just is not a good thing.
No, exactly. All right, speaking of Chef Patrick Mosier, he's popped in for our weekly food segment. Don't forget, Patrick Mosier has a show each and every afternoon at Spoonie.com. It is 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Every day, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Details at Spoonie.com. What do you got for us here? What's all this? Something.
A little sugar.
Well, it is the holiday season.
He wants us to die, apparently.
No. They've done a new study. And this study concludes that people are done eating healthy for the year. They're done.
Is that every year at this time?
Pretty much every year at this time. By the time that November 15th rolls around, we're done.
They are way behind Brad because he was done eating healthy this time.
1974.
In 1974. Yeah. Just before Jim Jones
yes, exactly.
Had people drink the Kool-Aid.
Yes, I knew that was coming.
So 60% of people that go to a gym regularly stop going. They don't care what they eat. They don't care about exercise.
Such an a-hole. I don't. Oh, a gym. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
no,
like a gymnasium.
All right, next story. Next story. But no, the average person will gain 6 pounds this holiday season.
Well,
so do we have something for that?
Well, no, because I was reading a story the other day about the fact that literally a ketchup packet, 7 calories a day, that'll end up over the course of a few years packing on like 10 pounds a year.
I believe
so. Little things like
1
that.
pound is 3,000 calories.
Yeah, so they will find. It doesn't surprise me. 6 pounds at Christmas.
Yeah, considering I ate 6 pounds of turkey just on Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
All right, so along with that, of course, we have to cover the top 10 beers in the world.
Yes.
Can we get to what is this laying out in front of us first?
No. All right.
For those of you not watching,
what's laid out in front of us?
The visual platform, there's a tray full of food.
Doc and I were talking about holiday candy, especially the Halloween stuff. The really crappy stuff you used to get in the 70s. Like, remember the lollipops with a little paper handle on them that kind of, twisted around? It was like a little loop that you could hold with your finger.
Like a fibrous hand.
Yeah. And they had... Oh, that's not candy, Brad. That's not candy. We'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, you know what else was another candy fail, not just for holidays? The candy necklaces or bracelets.
Oh, yeah.
And here's why. First of all, they taste like crap.
Right.
But number two, if you actually wore them and then ate some of them, your neck or wrist got all gummy.
Yes, it did. And
got all sticky.
It was hard to separate the one and bite through it. Yeah.
I never got it on. I just ate the thing and then threw the band away. So Doc was. We were talking about what was the worst candy you got when you were a kid.
And I said Kits. Do you remember Kits?
Candy Cogliata. Wasn't that
no,
worst candy?
She was not the worst. She was one of the best.
That was just the worst show.
But still, now actually she was good, but not as good as her cousin.
So we're
Candy Poltitsky. Of the upstate New York Poltitskis.
Hey, we're gonna need to be a bourbon for breakfast Thursday here.
No, we don't.
Whipped honey.
Okay, so one of the worst candies is this one right here. Kits. Do you remember these?
They're kind of like now and laters, right?
They are, but they're much smaller.
And they're rock hard.
Okay, so now and laters are kind of tangy. Okay. These are not. They're little bits of taffy that are rock hard. Now go ahead and open that. Oh, these are bigger than they used to be. No, these are bigger.
Yeah, because they used to have 4 in a pack instead of 3.
And they were thinner than this. So imagine being even.
This one has 4.
Okay, let me see that one. Hang on.
Wait a minute. Mine kind of looks like it.
No, this has 3. No, it is 3.
Oh, does it?
Now, Brad.
Yeah. Good.
Imagine it being even smaller than this.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're trying, because was that easy to open?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Even smaller and stickier. So you can't open them. So you go through all of that. Look at this. Look at this. To open one piece, and then you can't even.
Yank your
horrible.
Teeth out.
Right.
There goes a filling.
Yeah. Horrible.
There goes a whole
I had
tooth.
dental work yesterday.
I don't even know what flavor this is, but
it's white.
Is that not one of the worst candies?
If you suck on it, it's not bad.
Let's move on. What else you got?
All right. Then I started thinking about all the other great stuff from my childhood. The good stuff.
Wait, where's the Necco wafers? That's one of the worst candies.
Yeah, it's not worth eating. It's like chalk. Who wants chalk?
Who's Chuck?
I love taffy.
Oh, chalk.
I
love
too.
taffy.
I love her. What does she charge you?
$20.
Same as downtown?
I used to love Charleston chews. Put them in the
love Charleston. And he chews like...
That's easy on the teeth, Charleston.
It all pulls your teeth right out. I mean...
But do you remember these little... I don't know what these are. These McCraws, the really thin, flat taffy.
Not craw. Craw.
McCraws. McCraw.
Not...
The only thing bad about these, this is like paper thin taffy. Neapolitan. They have chocolate vanilla.
For people who can't
Let
make
me
a
see that.
damn
Try this
decision.
flavor, though. I want you to try that one.
Oh, no, this tastes like chemicals after. It
Try
tastes,
that, though.
It tastes like
Try it. You got to try it on the air. Try it out.
Thanks. I appreciate
Put
that.
it-
Anyway,
put it in
the
your
hard
mouth
thing
and
about
shut up.
The hard
Try
thing
it.
about that taffy
Hello.
is getting it out of the package.
I'm just going
There you
to
go.
stand here with this.
Uh-huh.
All right, what else you got?
All right. In England, they have some amazing candy bars that we don't have here. This violet crumble. Oh my God.
Just wanted you to try it. So
What do you call that?
I hate this. God, this is the worst thing ever.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
This is
Hold on. Two things.
I need tissue.
Number one, this taffy. Horrible flavor. Oh my gosh.
It looks like bacon.
Yeah, but it was fun as a kid.
No, it's terrible. Number two, I just wanted you to try the other taffy so you'd have a mouthful of taffy. What is this now?
This is crumble. This has like this
There's
this-
no taste.
I know it's terrible.
It's like
I don't know. It's like puffed caramel inside of chocolate, but the caramel's
a
dense.
violent crumble. A violent crumble. Is that what this is called? Violent crumble.
I think it's it's violet.
Yeah, violet.
Violet.
It's actually really good. It's like a burnt, crispy. I mean, it's like
Holy moly, that's
it's
good.
not. It's like the flavor of
Ron,
the topping
try
on
this.
creme brulee, the burnt cream. Dude, this is
Hold on.
this is
Ron
my,
is over there jonesing for some
Here, you
some
can take it.
sugar. I thought you were
They
on
have
a
another
diet,
one
Ron.
called Flake, which is just these little
Hold on.
ribbons of
Hold on a
chocolate
sec.
inside of chocolate.
So this violent crumble,
Violet.
which you could probably get this if you were any place you get like Cadbury, the stuff from England. Is that actually Cadbury?
It is.
Okay. It's like a
Oh, good.
I don't even know how you describe it.
what do you call it? It's like malted milk ball flavor, same texture, whatever, in a full candy bar, so you get a lot of it. But it's got more of a burnt marshmallow flavor.
It's like a caramel. It's like if you took a Heath bar, but you inflated the crunchy
and it's a little denser.
Yeah, the toffee inside.
So where do you rate this? Give 1 to 10. This 10
man.
being the best. This candy bar, Brad.
I would like to rub this all over my body
And Brad is like king of sugar at this point.
and just kind of lick myself.
Right. So I'm getting more towards the 10.
Yes.
Oh.
You understand? I give it.
I think
Ron?
that's a 9+ for me.
Ron. Ron.
I could just.
What do you give this out of 1 to 10?
About an 8.
8. Patrick, where are you rating this?
I'm a high 8. It's one of my favorites. I like the.
That's really good.
I don't like the burnt taste.
You don't like the burnt taste?
All right.
I'm going to give that a solid 8.
It's good stuff.
I'm not going to argue a 9. It's a very good candy. What else you got?
All right, real
Anything
quick. So, Tang, it's for astronauts. No, you can have it at home now. I remember going to NASA when I was a kid. I went to Cape
good? How come
Canaveral,
astronauts get it?
and they have.
The rest of us don't deserve Tang now and then?
Right.
All right, back to the story.
Every now and then. Even if you're married.
You remember they had the big push for the astronaut food, and
You know, the price
When
of
you're-
Tang's gone up.
Oh, big time, especially downtown.
yeah,
In
used
the
to be
urban,
$8.
in the urban
Used to be
areas.
$8.
Urban areas, man, it kills you.
All right, so
You gotta haggle.
but everything was like astronaut this, astronaut that, and they remember they came out with a freeze-dried ice cream that they sent up into space.
I remember all of
so
the
good.
astronaut this and astronaut that and the Tang. I definitely remember.
You got to try that one.
The tang was unforgettable.
I remember my mother took us to Cape Canaveral when I was maybe 10, 9, and I remember
tried
I'd
to
never
leave you
seen
there?
anything. Yeah, she did leave me there.
Okay, so this is actually an ice cream
This is-
sandwich, but the whole thing is freeze-dried.
Correct.
Freeze-dried. Here, try this, Bradley.
which
Here.
means they
Close
treat
my
it with
computer
formaldehyde.
They what? Treat it
Nothing.
with what?
You didn't hear that from me.
They treat what with formaldehyde? They do not. They just put my cream in the freeze dryer and freeze dry it.
They just leave it in there long enough to get freezer burnt like your steak.
Well, because I love freeze dried ice cream. This was my favorite when we were doing the spots for
A freeze
Harvest
dryer.
Right. Mm-hmm. And
Ron's going to try that too.
freeze dried ice cream is one of. I swear you don't feel like you're getting all the calories. Isn't it weird?
Trust me, you're getting all the calories.
Shut up.
Does that have nutritional info on it? I'm curious if they had to put it on there.
Shut your mouth and do not look at the nutritional info on the damn free.
I'm
What?
serious.
Don't. Why are you doing that? Don't do it.
Stop it. He doesn't want to know.
Down. Do you want to know?
I don't want to know.
Exactly.
I
Why the
don't
hell
wanna
would,
know.
if you're going to eat ice cream, why do you want to know what's in it?
Remember, it's like a lie detector test. As long as you believe it's
Exactly.
low cal. It's low cal.
No one's going to die from a little bite of it or the ice cream.
By the way, Matlock, who follows us on the air, you may remember from his 1980s TV show. Matlock does not like sugar, hates it. Like, he will not, actually dislikes sugar.
He doesn't even like to snuggle.
There's stuff on this tray that is not sugar.
Hang on,
Yes,
let me just say, as
yeah,
much
yeah.
as he hates sugar, Bradley loves sugar that much.
I do. I love sugar and snuggling.
What else you got there? We're trying stuff.
Well, I was looking through, saw a headline out of Japan from Kumamoto, Japan, and they have this vending machine that actually gives
vends.
It vends crickets and other insects.
That is nasty.
Yep. And I was thinking, I wonder if that's really. We're one of the only countries, by the way, in the world. We're one of the only countries here and Canada that don't. Same country, isn't it? Canada, isn't that just like the 51st state?
I'll eat your ice cream.
That don't eat insects as part of their diet. At least not even regionally.
No, hold on.
Crickets.
We eat it.
Yeah.
We just don't know we eat it.
Yes, we.
Yeah, that's when you're sleeping. Those little spiders that go in.
No,
rat
it's in
feces too.
Yeah, it's all ground up in your meat and stuff. You just don't know it. That's all.
So anyway.
Oh, you got some?
I did.
All right,
I guess so. These were at the same candy shop. We got crickets and larvettes, the original worm snacks.
All right,
These are Mexican spice. Those are bacon and cheese.
No.
Those are cheese and bacon.
Rob's looking hungry. Rob will try the. I wish there was something
Ron.
for me.
Yeah, here.
Sorry.
That's okay.
No, I can't.
The good
No,
thing
I'm not
is
gonna
there's
do
more
cricket.
than one in a box. I'll eat them, damn it.
Give me some.
All right.
You guys are trying this? Oh,
Yep.
no.
All right.
I wish I could, but I got to speak because I'm the host. Sorry.
Crickets.
Look at that.
Yeah.
They're not crickets. They're crickets.
Yeah, and these are they're bacon and cheese, dude. You got to have
Let me
bacon
see.
and cheese.
All we need here is a little tequila.
You guys give me the tequila. I'll eat all those. I'll eat some rocks and twigs. I'll eat anything if I'm drunked up.
Do you remember the candy bars that have the scorpion in them?
Hang on, let me describe while you guys open them. So Chef Patrick is now trying the crickets.
Yep.
And Rob
Here, what? Head fell out.
Ron. It's Ron
Phillips is going to try the larvae. What is it? It's the larvettes original worms,
mealworms.
Ready?
Your hands are so soft, Ron.
Here we go.
I'm gonna try one.
I wish I could, but I'm on the air and I got to narrate this or whatever.
It's kind of like
texture, Patrick, of the crickets.
Texture. Fairly similar to the freeze-dried ice cream.
Okay, pass over the larvettes to Patrick.
These are obviously they're fried, so there's very little.
Rob, get in here and tell us about the larvettes.
I'm going to tell you that tasted a little bit like nacho chips. I'm not even joking.
Tasted like nacho extreme?
No, nacho chips.
Well, because those are Mexican spice flavor. That's why. And
it's not yo
Hey, Matt,
chips.
these don't have sugar. Come on in,
It's
Sean.
not
They're
yo
low-cal.
chips.
Come on and get some
Come on
larvae.
and get some.
I need no sugar.
Come on, love on
these
the
aren't
larva.
sweet.
No,
These aren't sweet.
No,
they're
I'll
They're not
pass.
sweet.
crickets.
Like
They're
like
savory.
crackers.
Come on,
No,
man.
that's all right.
They're crackers.
They're cheese and bacon.
You puss.
No kidding.
Wow.
No wonder they won't deliver mail to your house.
Not bad.
Look, that's a here.
Be honest with you, there's very little
Did
flavor.
you try the cricket? Come on, Brad. Get on the
I
cricket.
tried a
They're
lot.
crispy with a
Try
little
a
bit of
cricket.
whatever flavor they
It
say.
does nothing. I mean, it just tastes like a
It tastes like
Okay,
a drop.
the cricket is bacon and cheese flavor. So you like bacon and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Close your eyes, pop it in your mouth, and just think bacon and cheese. Close your
now
eyes.
where's the cricket?
Close it. Buy bacon and cheese. Bacon and cheese, baby.
Yeah, remember,
You don't like bacon?
you can.
that is nasty.
It's bacon.
Yeah.
It's just burnt bacon, dude. It's okay.
That is just...
I need that clip. I need that clip.
Oh, there's like cricket parts in my mouth.
Little legs and stuff. I want you now.
There's
Here,
cricket
It's like
genitals
pork-
in
it's
my
like
mouth.
It's like
hold on.
pulled
Here's what
pork.
I want you to do. I want you to hang on. Swirl your tongue around to clean that all out. You feel the little thing? That's an antenna. That's right there in the corner of your mouth. And by the way, you're not just eating a cricket. You're eating a cricket and everything that cricket's ever eaten. And everything that cricket's ever eaten.
Oh, God. I got to wash it down with ice cream. That is just
Could you
foul.
get the Tums out of his bag, please?
By the way, crickets are cousins of...
maggots or something, I'm sure.
well, what
Go
are the
ahead.
cockroaches?
Ugh.
It's the cockroach's dumb cousin.
I could, you know what?
I absolutely tasted the bacon and the cheese.
Did you taste the antenna?
Well, yeah, but that's part of it.
You ever tasted my bacon?
Well, these crickets come with extra antenna flavor.
Oh, there you go.
And by the way, you guys just didn't try larvettes. I don't think you understand. These are the original worm snack. Do not be confused by cheap worm snack knockoffs. These are the original, folks.
You are just encouraging the people in the MeWe chat room, and that's all I'm going to say. Nasty, 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 nasty. Ugh. Ugh.
Now, here's what I want to know.
Why would you want to eat? What the hell? There's
They're
nothing.
healthy.
No, they're not. There's
Yes, they
nothing
are.
there.
They're lower cal than the other one.
Let me explain. That So a serving size is this entire pack of crickets.
Right.
Okay.
What's in it?
The calories, 4.3 calories.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
there's absolutely no
calories
energy in it.
Now, hang on. But there is no saturated fat.
Right, okay.
No trans fats.
Okay.
No carbohydrates. No
yes.
dietary fiber.
Right.
0.01 sugar. And 1% of your daily protein. There it is.
Which means you're eating it for absolutely no reason.
No, if you ate 99 more packs of these, you'd have a full day's protein.
If you go out and
you sprinkle them on your salad to get some extra protein, that's all.
You make it like a Chex Mix. You add in the crickets and a few others.
Now,
There you
hold
go.
it right there. That was the crickets. The larvettes, the original worm snack, is a little bit different. So this entire pack, only 10 calories, but what you get with it is 1% of your total saturated fat, 0 sodium, 0 carbohydrates, 0.02 grams of sugar, but 2% of your daily protein needs.
There are so many other things I would prefer to put in my mouth.
Not the original worm snack?
No.
You're not talking about some knockoff worm snack?
No.
Okay. Because...
God, I feel like I
here's
got
my
cricket
question.
parts stuck in my teeth.
Now, I have Bradley, because Brad knows good taste. He gets this stuff, right? And if he's disgusted, I know I'd be disgusted. But on the disgusted scale, where do the crickets and larvettes fall? Which one's worse?
The crickets. Because there's more to them. And they just break up in your
So the
mouth.
mouthfeel
and
is
you feel the feet
little
and
legs,
the nasty
little wings.
But yes.
Yeah, but at least those crickets were dried out.
Yeah,
Have
I
bacon
can't
and
imagine.
cheese
You know,
on 'em.
I guess if I was starving in the Amazon,
So
maybe.
if they were reconstituted with like some moisture, would that be better?
I don't know.
Okay, so on the scale, crickets worse, and then the original worm snack second, larvettes. But where do those two fall with like a cup full of rainwater?
I knew you were going to go there.
Chicago rainwater.
And it wasn't rainwater, that was gutter water. Big difference. Gutter water.
Okay.
It was.
There's
Now,
a story
so
there,
is that,
obviously.
Is that worse than these two? The thought of the gutter water.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what about like a half a cup of toenail clippings? Where does that fall?
Oh, God. I'll leave. I'll just get up and leave.
Here's the
You'll
Probably
end up
about the
doing
same
it.
crunch, Doc. Probably about
There
the
you go.
same
Just in
crunch.
case it comes back up.
Good luck.
So we're walking in Chicago for the National Restaurant Association show last spring.
May, yeah.
And it had been raining, and someone makes the comment about drinking some of the flowing gutter water that's
Oh, it
rolling
wasn't
down the
flowing.
street.
It was just sitting there. It was just a
And
stagnant pond.
It's like that stagnant black water that
What
you
with the
can
oil
see.
slick on top?
Yeah, you can see that oil sheen on it.
Oh.
And someone made the comment of how much it would take to drink a cup of it, right? And we're just
Because that's
debating
the
this.
stupid game we play.
Right.
How much would you take to do X?
Right. And I was worried, aside from getting sick, I mean, I'll drink it. I'll drink a gallon if there's money involved. But I'm a little worried about being sick if there's anything. So I question, are you going to get sick? And they're like, are you kidding me? There's all kinds of pollutants and things you're going to get sick. And after just a couple of minutes, Brad's going,
I just have a vivid imagination.
Right. So I knew he was bothered by it. But like a week or so ago, it casually came up and Brad was like, I can't even think about that. It's so bad.
He starts turning green, gagging.
And then another day, somehow toenail clippings came up, and that was turned green. So I'm filing all these away. So I've now added to the way I can discuss Brad by mentioning the original worm snack and crickets.
It's the little feet. It's the cricket feet that do it. The worms, it just goes down. The crickets, though, the little parts stay stuck in your teeth. That's the little tiny feet.
So if like these ones were bacon and cheese flavor,
if
they were a different flavor.
There was no flavor on those damn things. It tasted like crunchy feet.
So, but I mean, it's more of a a thing that was
It
a
is
problem.
yes, and you know what you're eating. I guess
So if we did like maraschino cherry flavor crickets, it wouldn't be any better.
Oh, there's some sugar in there.
You know, if we had blindfolded him and just handed that to him and let him, he wouldn't have known what that was.
No, you'd have to put it in my mouth. Don't hand
It's,
it to me.
it's the
'cause then
fact that it came out of a box that said crickets on it.
Well, and the fact that when you put it in my hand,
They're
it
not
looked like
crickets.
a
It looked
cricket.
like a cricket.
Yes, it looked like a stiff cricket.
Now,
Because it was a stiff cricket.
let me ask you: would you now be willing to try some other things, like maybe grasshoppers? Grasshopperettes.
I thought you were going to say something else there, and I'm glad you didn't.
Would you try that?
No, because a grasshopper is just a bigger cricket. It's like a cricket times 2. No.
How about half a grasshopper so it's proportionate? You only get half the feet then.
It's the feet. It's.
So
my mouth's starting to water now. This is not good.
So if we, he's talked himself into liking him.
Nope, not that kind of watering.
So you think it would be a bad business model to specialize and get away from the full crickets and just kind of a cricket's wingdings?
If you
like Buffalo Ranch, and you just take the legs and make them Buffalo Ranch style.
Why don't you just do Buffalo Ranch shots? Just and forget the crickets. Let's just drink hot
you
sauce.
need protein.
There's there's nothing.
This had 1% of your daily
I got
protein.
a leg caught in my throat.
I did too. Yes, you can feel them in your throat.
Yeah.
All right.
Scratching their way out.
So what if I were to make like sausage, and for some added protein, I throw in some crickets, but it's ground up? Would you care that?
It would be ground up when I put your sausage in my mouth to eat
Yes,
it?
it would
Okay,
be ground.
if they're ground up, I mean, because that's what they do with those shakes. They grind up the crickets, they put it in a vanilla shake or whatever, and
then
you
it's
don't even
okay.
know.
Okay.
But why not just go to a different protein source that isn't crickets? I mean, there's plenty of other protein sources on the planet.
There are.
That aren't nasty old.
Well, let's move away from that and say, you know what a good protein source is? MoJo, wildrice.com. The great folks at Nostalgia, they have a protein-packed rice that doesn't have little legs to it and actually tastes good. Right? I love it.
Yes, it does. And not just rice. They have soup mixes, breakfast cereals.
They have pepper jam.
And they have the polenta that actually doubles as a waffle mix.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can use it. And the polenta, polenta is good too because it cooks faster and you can make it sweet or savory. So the polenta is real easy as a side dish for dinner. Like, how could you doctor that up? Because when you buy some of the stuff like the polenta mix, it's just the ground rice in the polenta. There's no seasoning to it. Some things like the soups do. But what type of things could you make with the polenta? I mean, you've got to be able to do something savory with some spice, butter, salt, pepper, garlic, cheese. You can do cheesy polenta.
Mascarpone cheese is a really good thing to put in there. Nice,
What?
it's
Oh.
creamy. Mascarpone cheese.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Now, don't get the Al Capone cheese.
It's like,
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It'll come back and get you later.
Right.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, it keeps coming back on you.
But yeah, so that with some fresh herbs, thyme, rosemary, a little oregano in there.
Yeah. So
Lots of
options.
garlic.
Go to MoJoWildRice.com. Stock up now for the holidays. You'll be doing doing us a favor because you'll be supporting our sponsors. You're going to do yourself a favor because it's healthy and it's delicious.
And the
both
jams
things you want.
and the whipped honeys.
Oh yeah,
so good.
Yeah,
so good. And you don't have to cook the pepper jam.
You don't.
You
don't
just
have to
you
do
can
it.
spoon that out and just eat it right out of the bottle.
That's right. And any larva or crickets you get in the food is something gone wrong in your cooking model, not in their stuff. It's completely separate. MoJoWildRice.com. Order today. MoJoWildRice.com. Maybe we'll take a little break and regroup.
Yeah.
What's a MoJo? What's a MoJo? $20, same as downtown. MoJo 50.
Have you done it? You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror?
I'm one of those people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's
using
amazing.
It
Now,
really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called RiduZone, RIDUZone.com, RIDUZone.com. It's Brad's worked. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to RiduZone.com and try today. You're going to love it. RiduZone.com. Remember that, RIDUZone.com.
Doc Thompson, MoJo 50.
So I got a text from Ron last night. I have to ask him about it. He's like, by the way, how do I find the time traveler videos on YouTube? And I said, seriously, just type in, search for time travelers, and then head down the rabbit hole of just what. Did you watch some?
Unfortunately, I did.
And they're seemingly limitless, aren't they?
Oh my God.
The ones that are blurry and they go, well, I traveled to 55, 53, and when I got back,
I realized that we're headed on a very dangerous path.
Photographic proof of time travel or whatever, and you look at it, and then they'll give you one other factoid, so you're like, okay, and the whole time is so many words.
The details surrounding me traveling to 50.
You don't need to say all that. Just tell me about 5053. Finally, they get to the picture, and you see it, and it's some grainy-ass, fuzzy thing, and then instantly they go,
I found out that time travel only screws up photographic evidence of time travel.
how you feeling there, buddy?
I realized what it's the legs. It's the feet with the crate, and then it takes me back to people who are into feet, and I just don't understand it. So I think there's a lot of psychological crap.
It's the feet. I just can't get the little cricket feet out of my head, dude. That is so funny.
And you're eating all the cricket parts, and it's just crunchy.
That is, yeah.
Nastiness.
The thing is, this is all joking aside about the insects,
insects
and worms.
Insects, yes,
and worms and that.
Mm-hmm.
That may be our future.
What, eating that is our only food source?
Not only, but it is a viable food source as far as protein goes.
Yeah.
But lots of countries around the world, Chef Patrick's right, do consume insects and stuff. In order to get us there, it's going to be a slow process.
Yeah, and it may thin the herd quite a bit.
Well, I mean, listen, most people alive in America today are never going to regularly consume, of their own free will, without the threat of starvation, stuck in the woods, insects. It's not going to happen.
They probably wouldn't eat a hamburger if they had to make it themselves either.
True, exactly. So what'll have to happen, we'll have to go many generations down the road before it would be viable.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them, most of them unborn. Yet to be born.
Yes.
You're talking people that will be born 20, 30 years from now, where they become 20, 30 years old. So like 50, 60 years down the road with a concentrated effort here to clean up the image and everything else, a slow evolution before this will happen, or truly something post-apocalyptic where we have to.
Well, again, if you take the crickets and grind them up into a powder, and put it in a milkshake, you'd never know. So, and it's kind of like the hamburger thing. It doesn't look like a cow sitting on two pieces of bread.
True.
It
That's
looks,
true.
If you can just take the drink and it's got protein in it, that's great.
Well, and there's a lot of people that
drink it. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, then you get into the Soylent Green.
People. Is that wrong?
No, not at all.
Although your eyes, if you start eating people, don't your eyes start growing too close together? I mean, weird stuff happens to you.
No, I don't
Pretty
think
sure
so.
you start getting the shakes.
No, there are diseases you get from being a cannibal.
Because you're not supposed to eat people.
Not regularly.
No.
I mean, a little bit.
A snack here and there,
right,
yes.
Exactly. Not as part of a normal food source.
Jeffrey Dahmer was going down a wrong path.
I'm sorry, he was
going down a wrong path. Mm-hmm. Boy, was he.
All right. So the communiques are coming in.
Yes.
Brad is regrouped. And let me explain here, too. I love Brad Staggs. Love him. He's a very close friend of mine. I respect him as a broadcaster and as a human being. And I give him the business of making him sick like this just because it's fun and he knows it's all in good fun. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you right now, do not try to disgust Brad online. Do not do it. He goes through those tweets later on in the day in the Facebook posts, and I'm going to be very disappointed if you try to disgust him.
I'm going to make
because this was just a one-off, just a fun-of-the-moment thing, and Brad doesn't need to be disgusted all day now. I mean, like later on, if you're sending this guy memes of crickets and disgusting things of like puddle water, that's going to be bad. Don't do that.
I'll just have one of my people clean up the mess when I vomit. That's all. I'll just have them clean. I have a staff just for that. Master Scheffler, TJ Toppin. Hey, Brad, how about crickets? Oops, all feet. Yes, they are all feet. Purple Angry Beaver. If they put it in your mouth, real Brad Staggs, can they change their mind?
Can they?
30 years down the road, probably. Yeah. You can go ahead and sue. 4 days work in the week, 4-day work week, but still trying to work in the weekly bell quota. B from the SAV. That was, I think you probably.
We're getting it in.
You could. Jeez, that's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And crickets. Why no lake bacon? What's lake bacon? Native American North American grain
Lake bacon.
Lake bacon.
You just call that lakin?
I don't know, but
is that a vulgar term we're saying over and over? People are like, oh my gosh, they're saying that thing that has to do with the...
No, we talk about purple taints and everything. How bad can lake bacon be?
Maybe it's taint related. I don't know.
Ron, what's lake bacon?
$20, same as downtown.
Thanks, Doc, answered for me.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's got to be something like that they find in like the lakes, like crawdads or something. Even that'd be even worse than that.
Okay, you ever sucked heads? Is that
crawdad heads? That's not good. That's,
ding ding. I don't have a bell.
Do you?
And have you ever sucked those little crustaceans?
Do you like crawdads? I don't.
No, I've never done that before. I wouldn't Anthony Bourdain, didn't he do that on
He's
his?
done more than that.
Yeah. I mean, I just
Do you like crawdads? You ever had that?
Yeah, but I don't suck the heads. So
yeah, I don't like it at all. That's too
the tails. I'm all good about tails.
You suck neither the heads or the tails.
I like
gotcha.
tails.
I'll suck the tail, but I will not suck the.
You got to draw the line somewhere.
Yes, you do.
See, I did the same thing about chicken, though.
It's really hard to have this conversation.
You'll suck a chicken head?
Right. No, I will not.
You'll not suck a chicken tail.
No, it's when I'm eating chicken, anything like that. When you get into all the parts that are not the muscle.
Yeah.
All the little veiny, dark things along the bones and like that. I'm like, that is disgusting.
I had to sneeze. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Like the chicken legs or even wings.
Yeah.
Right? That's why when I eat chicken or wings, I prefer the ones that look like legs.
Right. And I prefer buffalo wings.
That's what I mean.
And
then I even get the ones that are like boneless wings, which aren't really wings. But I just don't want all the little tendony, veiny.
That's why my wife won't eat off the bone.
I'm sorry to hear that. It's got to be stressful at the house.
Mary
dinner
Moon
every night.
Yeah, there's Mary Moon.
Yeah, I don't get any of that stuff. There's some people like that. I had a brother-in-law. He's dead now. Thanks for asking.
Good morning.
Brother-in-law who was I think a Green Beret. And he was in Vietnam. I mean, this guy saw it. He would eat anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he was an avid hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd go out to shoot whatever he shot. He's like, oh, yeah, the brains are great at that. That's good. Eat that one. I'm like, okay.
Monkey brains, big delicacy. Did you ever? There was a movie decades ago called Faces of Death.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Remember
that?
Which I think may have been bogus.
It was, yeah.
But do you remember the monkey one where they put the monkey heads up in the
yeah,
they beat him to death? And
so
had
stupid.
That ate the brains out of the monkey heads.
Fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that. I hate those movies. I shouldn't have watched them, but I mean,
now look at you.
Yeah.
Now look at you.
So he did any of that stuff or whatever. He also, by the way, the oddest thing, this is just such an interesting sideline. Show you how veterans often are, certainly like somebody with special forces or Green Beret, whatever. He gets cancer. He goes to the doctor and they're like, you got the cancer. Yep, got the cancer. They may have said a little different than that. And they're like, it's type of cancer that, survival rate's really low. You're going to die from this. It's going to be a while. Go through the treatment. Wink, wink. Mm-hmm. But you're going to succumb to it within the next couple of years. It was like the John McCain type thing. And he was like, wow, okay. Any options or whatever?
Seems bad.
Well, we'll go through the treatment and we'll try it, but it's not going to work. But we'll try it. I mean, it was just. So a couple weeks later, we're all sitting around. We're all hanging out and he's talking with us. And he says to me, he goes, hey, do you have any long guns? And he was a big hunter in that. I said, I have a shotgun in that. He goes, I have a rifle. And I forget he goes, would you be interested in that? And I was like, yeah, sure, absolutely. He goes, I give you the rifle, whatever. All right. Great. And he keeps mentioning stuff like this to people. He's giving his crap away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
he can't take it with him.
Right. He goes through, and once he accepted it, he was like, it sucks. All right, I'm going to die. He went through, in the months leading up to his death, that he only lived less than a year, got everything together, got everything paid up for my sister, got everything taken care of, got his will, everything in place, just checked off the boxes. Like a member of Special Forces, I've got a job to do.
Yes.
I'm going to check off the boxes, get it done. And I mean, it sucks, but there's nothing I could do. So let's get the job done. Hoorah.
And it keeps your brain off of thinking about I'm dying.
But when I saw the systematic, and I was just going down the checklist, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Military training is great for that. It keeps you from sitting around feeling sorry for yourself.
It was pretty amazing. It was surreal, so to speak.
Well, it's like you and I were talking about yesterday about death. It's not, I don't fear death. It's the process. I don't want to sit there for 2 hours watching myself bleed out.
Ron, Brad and I had this long conversation about death because we're old. And
it's coming. It's coming.
Talk more about it as you get old. And
you do.
Well,
as it becomes more and more inevitable.
I'm pretty sure I know how I'm going to die.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know, like, specific,
Did it
like,
come to you
method.
in a dream?
No. I just know my luck.
Oh.
I know me, right? It will not be fast. And not because, like, the suffer angle, it's not, like, painful, because it may be something less painful, but it will be long enough that I will have the realization I'm dying. And I will go, not like cancer, like 20 years, like my brother-in-law, or a year. It'll be like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like a belly wound where I slowly bleed out.
Right.
You know, or something. And I'll be like this. Wow, I got this wound. And then my hand will be like, better get some help. Oh my gosh, there's no help because I'm trapped under this heavy thing, whatever. Oh my gosh, maybe help will come. It's getting so cold. So cold. I know what I'm thinking. And then the realization, that cold, whatever. Wow, you're getting sleepy too. This is it. They're not going to make it. Mm-hmm. Holy crap. I am going to die.
Mm-hmm.
This sucks.
Mm-hmm. Should have worn thick.
Wow, and I'm so cold.
Yeah.
I know. Right. Not even like, I will have the cognizant knowledge of the life is draining from my body.
Yep.
It's going to be me. I know it. Just because my whole life is almost like an out-of-body experience. I find myself quite often almost like Bewitched style, where Endora's like hovering above, just looking down on myself going, so that's what it's like when that happens.
Yep.
Okay.
See?
At that point, I'll be like, can somebody turn on the light? I just need to see the light. Where is the light?
Right. Trick me. Yeah. Show me a light.
Show me a light. Do something.
Spoiler, it's a train.
It's a train.
Headed right at you.
I just think, oh my. Now I know why they say these things. I'll have that I know it. I know, and I know part of it's going to be so cold.
That's right. But that epiphany that you're going to get, you won't be able to tell anybody about.
No. And don't they say you learn everything in that last instant? It's like the
evidently
the universe. I don't know how they know that.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's like, and then so you're going to go, damn it. That's how it works.
There's a good chance. Like, I wouldn't be fortunate enough to have my buddy Brad Staggs nearby, where I was like, oh my gosh, are you bleeding out too? Are you getting cold too? Brad, this is what it's like.
I'm hot. Please open a window.
I mean, we couldn't have that. Like, oh my gosh, Brad, this is it. We're dying. Wow, this is weird. It wouldn't happen. Instead, it'll be something like the movie Mr. Mom, where as he's dying, he goes, holy cow, what'd you use? A 38, 39, whatever it took. And he rolls his eyes like, son of a, right? About his wife. That's what it would be. As I'm dying, my wife would be something like that, where I'd be like, great, wonderful. That's what it means. I'd be like, well, there it is. That's just perfect.
Just remember, you only have to put up with this crap another 4 decades.
Or it'll be something ironic, where it'll be like, oh, if she had just not done that, wow, that heavy thing wouldn't have fallen on me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I told her, so there it is.
And it would have all, you could trace it all the way back to Jim Jones in Guyana.
Yes, exactly.
And Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi. Damn it.
I have told people this before, and I want the audience to know this. This is important, because there's a lot of craziness. Because, we talked about Harvey Milk, and those people were assassinated and whatever. If you're ever concerned, if I die, and people start going, conspiracy. People start going down, yep, I think someone got to him or something. Because we step on a lot of toes, right?
Yeah.
If that ever happens, and so let's say he committed suicide, and you're like, I don't know, it looks questionable. You will know if it's a suicide if it's weird AF. If you just go, he hung himself in a closet, autoerotic asphyxiation or something. No, that's not it. If they're like, wow, he just had some struggles. It was a rough time. The bills mounted, whatever. And he got in the car and turned it on in the garage. No, it's not it. If it's just one of those stories, like a solid little backstory, typical, no. If I decide to do myself in, my promise to you is it's going to be a story. When they do the autopsy, they're going to be like, holy crap, we found a treasure chest of stuff in his stomach. Yes, in every orifice, he stuffed something, and this kid was effed up. They're going to go, we found 14 Barbie doll heads in his ass. Why? Just because they're like, what the hell?
I have 15.
Right. There'll be $714 in change in my stomach or something. Just, I won't have that much money.
And you'll do that just so I have to one-up you.
Right. So
I'll be forced to put 15
down in there. Right. There'll be like some shrine to like Paul Lind in my basement. I mean, one of those crazy like stalker ones with like the candles lit and pictures in all angles. There'll be that.
Down.
Oh, there will be stuff where they're like, what the hell was this guy into? I want you guys to have like 4 or 5 weeks worth of shows. I want, if you itemize the list, you could just read it and go, okay, here's what we found in his nose. Right?
That is good.
And
that would work.
Likely there will be a sponsor involved.
Well, yes. I mean,
my suicide will be sponsored.
Wow.
I will make sure to get a sponsor. I mean, I got to pay for the funeral.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, I wasn't a veteran, so I don't even get the measly $200 they give veterans for death benefits. Wife's got to pay for that.
UNIT could just donate you to science.
You guys will be going, we found the shrine to Paul Lynn. We did. And next to him on the wall was a looped video of him endorsing Kreskin's Caskets. Hi, it's Doc Thompson for Kreskin's Caskets. If you're considering doing yourself in, purchase a Kreskin Caskets. They're solid for many, many years. This one, for example, is proven waterproof up to 30 years.
And it's comfy.
If you use the promo code Doc Just Killed Himself, you'll get 10% off your Kreskin Casket.
Telling you. At least you're thinking ahead. That's important.
I'm not just the spokesman.
I'm also a customer. In fact,
when you're at the funeral, make sure you look how comfortable I am lying.
That's it.
Coffin.
The whole damn thing is being sponsored. My suicide will be sponsored. That's my commitment to you.
I want midgets riding llamas at the funeral.
And I also want Brad to go, how the hell am I going to outdo this crap? I don't know if I can outdo this.
Damn it. That's why if you start with the 14 Barbie doll head.
Brad's like, doing 15 Barbie doll heads.
13. 14.
And this one, hang on, this one was manufactured. Hang on.
Patent number.
On the side of the back of the head. Patent number 38572.
Sometimes the jokes are just for us.
Do you remember that joke, Ron?
No, but
can you clean that one up?
It's the guy who can anything inserted into his rectal orifice could be. He could tell you what it was.
That was a cricket antenna.
I see. I know they're still stuck in my throat too. But he could identify anything put in his rectal orifice. So even
this was like a real thing.
It was.
It might be just a joke.
It could be.
But yes, it's a real thing, Ron.
It's a real thing. So
the guy was amazing.
It's a football trophy.
How does he do that? That's
Bob Schmeckelwitz won it in 1977, and it's patent number 1305. And it was, I mean, that's impressive when you can do that. When you have that sort of control, it's impressive.
There you go. Wow, I feel like we've done a lot of good work here today.
I swear there is a foot stuck in my throat. It is hung up.
It's also part of a cricket. So I think maybe we leave on a slightly more positive note. And I also want to separate the past conversation from our sponsor. So
probably a wise idea.
Stanley recently succumbed to life.
Nobody gets out of it alive.
I would say, I don't even know what he died of, but it's 95. He just succumbed to life.
He's dead.
Yesterday at just after noon, his family posted to his Twitter account, The Real Stanley, at The Real Stanley.
Right.
A video. It's a little clip of an interview he gave just within the last month or so. And they were going through the footage, and they found this one short little minute and a half piece of him talking about the fans and his life and whatever. They posted it yesterday, just after noon. And as of now, it has 3.5 million views.
Wow.
3.5 million.
That's cool.
In under 24 hours. Now, his concept is he's just sitting in a chair and they're interviewing him. And he said, over the years, he had times where, like everybody, you just think, what's this all about? What am I doing here? Right? Make comics and whatever. He said, and then he'd get a letter from a fan or meet somebody out there and realized what it was all about. What it kept him going. He understood, And I think we all have those days. But I'm going to pick it up right there where he's talking about the fans and meeting them, and it keeps him going. Listen to what else he had to say.
To have fans who really care about you. And that's the reason I care so much about the fans, because they make me feel so great. And there's something, if you think about it, that is wonderful about somebody caring about you as I care about them, whom you've never met, who may live in another part of the world, but they care, and you have something in common, and occasionally you contact each other. And this business of fans, I think, is terrific, and I love them all.
That's very cool.
Think about that. I've never put it that way or thought about it that way. We have people that support the show all over. That's the jackholes.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Most of them I've never met. People that follow us, whatever. Some we have, whatever. We spend time with that or whatever. But we help people. They help us. They do. You have common values and goals and this common little community where many times you really don't even know the people.
Right.
But you can count on them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you can count on them.
I just kind of equated it to our little dog and pony show here and the people that support us.
No, I think it is
thank you so much for that. And thanks to everybody who's donated at MoJo50.com to our crowdfunding source.
GoFundMe.
No, it's Indiegogo, but yeah, crowdfunding.
That.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. And I'm just glad I could use that touching moment about Stan Lee to promote that we need some more money.
I mean, yes.
MoJo50.com.
Yes.
All right, real quick, got to remind you about PatriotMobile.com/doc. Thank you so much, Patriot Mobile, for sponsoring this broadcast. Thank you for everybody who signed up for a Patriot Mobile account. If you haven't done so, please do so immediately. One of the simple things you can do to help. We've got 2020 coming up soon. All right, the countdown is beginning to 2020.
It is.
We need the money funneled to those campaigns as much as we can, and that's what Patriot Mobile will do, supporting campaigns and candidates and ideas and values and organizations that you support with the money that you pay them. A little bit of their profits go to it. You're going to get great coverage. That's the big question. What about the coverage? Brad, how is the coverage?
The coverage is great. If the Sprint works in your area, it's going to be perfect. Just fine and dandy.
Right. Just go to patriotmobile.com/doc, patriotmobile.com/doc, or 1-800-A-PATRIOT. Please sign up today. Get your friends and family to do so as well. patriotmobile.com/doc.
What do you mean it's let's go?
Righty, that is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of your Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned the word that best describes Michael Avenatti, douchey. And it does not describe anybody quite the same way.
No, it doesn't.
We learned hashtag Avenatti porn name. My suggestion, Cricket.
It keeps giving. It keeps on giving.
It's got legs.
Yes.
Like it's got wings, it's got legs. We learned Movie Pass is not the longest death of a company.
No.
I can think of others.
Yeah, plenty.
Like Sears.
Oh, good.
That's one.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Huge.
We learned when CNN reports, quote, Twumps. Damn it. Can I back up?
Edit that out. 3, 2,
We learned that when CNN reports Trump's mood has turned dark, they're not talking about him hooking up with black chicks. That's not it. It's very confusing.
It might be, but...
Bradley J. Staggs, what, if anything, did you learn today?
Well, I learned that Michael Avenatti would never strike a woman. He'd punch her in the face, but he'd never strike her.
Striker! I hardly even know her.
I learned you can't trust the homeless vet campaign on GoFundMe, but you can trust the Indiegogo campaign from MoJo 50. Thank you for all you've given. Imagine what we could do if you gave a little more.
Bit more. That's right.
That's all I'm saying. I learned that Donald Trump is turning dark, which is completely different than turning Japanese, correct?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's completely different.
And different than turning orange.
Yes. And he is orange. I learned that if UFOs are looking for intelligent life over Ireland, they're doing it wrong.
Wow,
and
that's critical of the Irish.
I learned that I really do not like feet in my mouth, cricket or otherwise.
Why are you so judgmental?
I can't help it.
What, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
Well, over on MeWe, shall I just present a potpourri? Sean, I am Corbin McIntyre. A rule of thumb came from the measurement of thickness of the stick you could beat your wife with when you didn't get a sandwich.
That's what I've heard.
Mr. Busy.
But I don't know for sure if that's true. I'd have to conduct my own investigation.
I think it was actually, that was the two-finger rule. That was a rule of thumb. It was a rule of two fingers, because that's just rude.
Quite shocking.
Yes, it is. Mr. Busy, filthy, dirty, nasty, but fun. You'll have to go to the MeWe chat room to find out what the hell he was talking about. Dennis Tintalo, I can't even keep up with the bells. And finally, Kevin the Saddle Tramp, I got your protein right here. Oh, by the way, last night in the chat room, they were bantering about, and the term "pakink AF" was repeatedly tossed around.
That's how you know. So that's hot. That's how you want to say someone's hot. You say they're pakink AF, man. I mean, there's AF, and then there's pakink, and then there's pakink AF.
You never know what you're going to throw out there that's going to stick to the wall.
Yes, exactly.
Which is why they say
to the wall.
Be careful what you throw out there. Yeah, exactly.
May stick, right?
It's obviously sticky.
What about the other social media platforms?
Over on Facebook, Greg says, Doc, working with Brad causes one to consider death on a daily basis.
No, you think I'm joking. I have never talked about death so much on and off the air.
Gwen Rich of therichsolution.com was watching.
Rich.
Yes, it is. She says, I've had cricket protein that I added to my smoothies. Good source of protein.
Did she offer a critique of such?
I did not know that was.
You got to offer an opinion then, too. You got to, I've had it and it's yummy. Or maybe it's not and she's trying to do the, you say good things, or if you don't have something good to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's the unspoken.
Yes.
Right?
That is what she calls Adam, right? Cricket?
I don't think so.
No.
Like let's say you wanted to say something, but you really couldn't say it. You say it to a point. Like maybe she wanted to say, I've had it and it's horrible.
Right.
But she knows she can't. What, some lawsuit pending against crickets or something for bad-mouthing them. I don't know if there's been a challenge. Then what you'd say is, I've had it, which is factually true.
Mm-hmm.
And you let people fill in the blanks.
Yes.
I mean, we could do that on the air about things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd say something, and you're just like, you got to fill in the blanks.
And you leave it right there.
Right.
You leave it on the table.
You don't, right? Because you can't legally say something. I get how that could possibly play out. Brad Staggs, I didn't get to the new numbers on procrastination. Can I get to those? Again, we're off tomorrow.
Yes,
Sorry about that.
It's a best of, which is better than any day.
Best. So we'll do that on Monday. And then what else do we have coming up? Too late. What is Matlock coming up?
The Postal Service. They're his special guest.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it'll be interesting.
Remember, folks, your Daily Mojo is today a Ron Phillips production.
Yes, it is.
That's right. Sic Semper Tyrannis, Virginia. Good night, Steve Cannon. Wherever you are. Anya, now you go home.
It is still stuck in my throat.
Thus, always to tyrants. And guess what? Those tyrants are not always in government office.
Nope.